is suing anger management counselor Thomas Wilson for a refund of his fee. Darlene says her son was kicked out of class.
That's case number 133 on the calendar in the matter of Brown versus Wilson. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mrs. Brown, I assume that this gentleman here is your son, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
The son who was directed by a court to take anger management classes.
Yes, ma'am.
And I assume that that was as a result of some sort of a domestic dispute?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wilson runs the anger management program, and your complaint alleges that you paid for part of a course that your son did not take because Mr. Wilson wouldn't let him take it. And Mr. Wilson owes you $200. Mr. Wilson says that your son was disruptive in the class, that he failed to follow the rules, and that he does not refund money. Pretty much is what you're saying, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Step up, please. Mr. Fugit, when were you directed to take an anger management program?
I don't recall the specific date.
Mrs. Brown, do you?
Yes, ma'am. It was on 4/18/03.
And that was a result of a conviction for domestic violence?
Yes, I was convicted of a domestic violence charge.
Was there any jail time involved?
Yes, I believe there was.
What do you mean you believe?
I don't recall how long I spent in jail for that. I spent some time and I bonded out. I went to court and hired a lawyer, and I was convicted of a domestic violence charge.
And then did you go back to jail?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I was court ordered to go to a doctor and do a psychological evaluation, which I did, and I was directed to do a 32-hour combination class of anger management, 16 hours, and then a 16-hour domestic violence class, and that's what I attempted to do.
Well, so what happened?
Well, I attended the first 16-hour class.
Which was what?
16 hours of anger management.
Okay. So you attended the first half of the two-part series. Second part you didn't attend?
I showed up for the first session of the second part of the series, Your Honor.
And what happened?
There was 4 or 5 of us, and we discussed what was going to be happening, and they showed a video where the husband comes home from work, drinking, the wife's there, she wants to get out, go to her friends, she wants to go bowling, he's saying no, he doesn't like her friends, and he's being very verbally abusive to her and physically intimidating, and he slams her up against the drywall, and he draws back his hand like he's going to hit her, and they stop the program. And the instructor, Rick, asked us to please participate and comment on what it is that we saw. And 2 people that were in the class made their comments to it. It came to me. I told the instructor, Rick, that I found the class to be offensive, and I didn't see why I had to sit there and be subjected to that type of domestic violence inside of the class.
Well, you were convicted of domestic violence.
I was convicted of domestic violence, but I'm not a wife batterer. It was under a different circumstance.
You didn't think that you were that kind of a batterer, so why should you be forced to watch that film? Is that really what you were saying? I'm trying to understand. The film wasn't offensive. The film is designed to be instructive.
Correct.
Now, if you found the husband's behavior offensive, that's a different story. I find the man's behavior offensive. So which one was it?
The instructor asked me to participate in the class, and he asked me what I thought of the film. And I just primarily told him that I found the behavior of the man in the film to be offensive. And
I'm not sure that that's what, I mean, that's not. I think that you're playing with me now, Jason, because if you said to the instructor, I found that the man's behavior was offensive, that's the right answer. So I'm not sure that that's what happened.
Okay.
Anyway, you were asked to leave.
Yes, I was.
So your mother paid for the class?
Yes, ma'am.
He was asked to leave the second class. Is that the $200 you want back?
Yes, ma'am.
And?
He was asked to leave, and we sent a notice to the probation officer indicating that he was uncooperative, he didn't show any empathy, so sometime later he was reordered.
He was reordered to go back to the program?
To go back to our program.
Okay.
And we agreed to take him back, but the condition was that he would have to repeat the anger management portion of the class.
Was there any reason you wanted him to restart the whole program?
Because he didn't show any real evidence that he'd learned anything from the first phase of treatment.
Okay. I would like to see the court order.
This is the original court order.
I want to see the court order. This order was dated April 17, 2003.
Yes, ma'am.
The judge directed your son to complete 32 hours of domestic violence education.
Yes, ma'am.
It was to enroll within 30 days and then promptly complete 32 hours of domestic violence education.
Yes, ma'am.
You did not do that. You enrolled, but you did not promptly complete.
That's what the probation violation was for, and then
Good! Then you belonged in jail. If that's what the order was, you see, I always had a problem when you got a third chance. As a sitting judge, I believe that we send the wrong message to people when they are convicted of a crime, as he was, and given an opportunity to remain at liberty under certain conditions. And then if you do not comply with the conditions, you're given another chance, which is really what happened. If I were the judge in that case, his behind would have been behind bars, and he would have been resentenced. He doesn't get a chance to say, I'm a victim, I don't belong in this place, I don't belong watching this domestic violence film, it offends me. I don't give a rat's behind whether it offends your son or not, madam. I don't.
May I say something?
I'm going to finish.
Okay.
He did not promptly complete 32 hours because he didn't like the first movie.
And he was asked to leave.
He was disruptive to the program. He doesn't have an option. That's part of anger management. Don't you understand? That's part of the drill. You have to stop making excuses for your son. It's part of the drill. He doesn't get to choose his punishment. I don't care if they showed movies of somebody shoveling crap into a fan. And he found it offensive. That's what he does. And then when he's court ordered to go back to the program, what you're saying is, well, he completed the first 16 hours. He shouldn't have to complete that first 16 hours again. He should be able to go for the second 16 hours, right?
The court order says he just has to complete 16 hours of domestic violence.
Let me see it.
the judge found that I completed the first 16 hours
Let me see it.
when I went back to court.
Let me see it.
I also have audio.
Okay, in August we went back, and right here it says you were to enroll in and then promptly complete the remaining 16 hours of domestic violence. That is true. Did you get a copy of this?
I did, Your Honor.
So? I mean, I wouldn't have done it.
I disagreed with the court, Your Honor.
You can't. Unfortunately, Mr. Wilson, I disagree with the court, too. You can't.
Okay.
I would have put his behind in jail, because one of the problems with domestic violence is, and anger management is, you have to show that you can control yourself well enough to do certain things even if you don't like them. You don't like your wife, you don't like her behavior. This was your wife, wasn't it? This woman that you're supposed to stay away from, Jessica?
That's my ex-wife.
Oh, your ex-wife.
That's not
wife.
what I was convicted of. That wasn't.
Well,
she
have
was,
no contact with her. You mean they just picked her name out of a hat?
That was because of a divorce and a similar circumstance.
You mean they just picked Jessica's name out of a hat to put on this order twice? 2 times. They said, stay away from Jessica.
Maybe I didn't understand the question, Your Honor.
Well, did you commit domestic violence against anybody else except Jessica?
Yeah, that was the charge.
Somebody else or Jessica?
It wasn't against Jessica, Your Honor.
Who was it against?
I'm not exactly sure. I was having problems, and she went over to her brother's. I went over there. I had my infant son in my hand, and I was trying to talk to my wife. And I walked around to the front of the house, and her 2 brothers and her sister was pulling my child out of my arms.
Listen to me. I'm not getting into that. Were you convicted after a jury trial, or did you plead guilty?
I had hired a lawyer, and it was...
Listen, I asked you one question.
I was convicted of a domestic violence charge that did not
Just a second.
my wife.
I asked you a simple question, and you're not listening to me, which is the problem that you have. I said, were you convicted after a jury trial, or did you plead guilty? Is that a hard question, Byrd?
No.
Were you convicted after a jury trial, or did you plead guilty?
I guess I pled guilty to it.
I guess. Mr. Wilson, this is your problem, sir. You disagreed with the court order. I do, too. But we live in a country that is ruled by law. And while I would have made him take the course all over again, the court gave him a break and said he only had to complete 16 hours of the domestic violence portion of the program. What happened to you after August when you didn't complete the program?
I went back and reported to my probation officer, and there was conflict. Earlier, and the probation officer said that there was obviously a problem between me and Mr. Wilson, but the VA wasn't going to violate my probation again under circumstances. I didn't have the money to enroll into another class to complete the class, so it's actually never been finished.
What a travesty. I mean, it's a joke. You're ordered to complete a program. You don't complete the program. You're given another opportunity, because it doesn't say to complete 16 hours in his program. It says completed the other 16 hours. So in August of 2003, you were given a second chance, or a third chance, to be at liberty. And according to you, since August of 2003, you didn't have the money that was necessary to complete 16 hours of domestic violence classes. Is that what you're telling me?
It was already paid to Mr. Wilson.
I don't care. Are you telling me that you didn't have the money to comply with the court order? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you.
In a year and a half? You're a liar. In any event, you owe him $200. You can't second-guess the court. He would have found himself telephoning his mother once a week from a jail cell if it was up to me, but it's not. It's unfortunate that people laugh at the court system because they don't make orders that they are prepared to stick to. Anyway, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's all. Out.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He should have followed through with what he was supposed to do.
The program is designed for a spouse batterer, and that's not what I was charged with, the domestic violence.
He was disruptive in my class. He didn't follow the rules.
People are individuals.
He's gone through a lot, and he's up there now.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Romine versus Reynolds. Step forward.
22-year-old clerical worker Catherine Romine is suing her former roommate, 22-year-old medical assistant Jessica Reynolds, for unpaid rent and utility bills. Jessica says she's paid more than her share.
Miss Romine, Miss Reynolds was a friend of yours.
Yes.
Since high school?
Since high school, yes, 9th grade.
And she moved into your home in December of 2003, is that right?
Yes.
And you claim she moved out, owing you money for rent and some other things. And Miss Reynolds says she owes you nothing. She paid all of the expenses that she should have paid when she was there. When she moved in December of 2003, what kind of arrangement did you have with her?
Well, in December, we still had my old roommate, and he was moving out in January 2004. So the agreement in December was for her to pay 1/3 of all utilities and the rent. And thereafter, January 2004 and on, she was supposed to pay half of everything.
Okay. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did she pay 1/3 of the rent and utilities in December?
Only 1/3 of the rent in December.
And the gas and electric.
Okay.
Which was under her name.
No, it wasn't under my name until January.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I feel that for all the food that she consumed, the toiletries, the laundry, the expenses, my SDG
I don't care what you
bill,
feel. Listen, I don't care what you feel. I don't listen to me. I
that
don't
she
care
owes me.
what you feel.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Romine says ex-roommate Jessica Reynolds owes for rent and bills.
Okay. Did she pay her half in January?
Only the rent.
How much was your share of the rent, Miss Reynolds?
$447.50.
What about February?
Yes.
When did you move out, Miss Reynolds?
Weekend of March 1st.
Is that right?
She moved out February 29th, and she was supposed to move out on March 4th. So she did not pay those 4 days of rent.
What 4 days?
She had her 3-day notice on February 4th, and she was supposed to move out on March 4th, but she moved out on February 29th, and she did not pay the 4 days of rent that she was supposed to.
So you want her to pay the rent for the 4 days into March 4th?
Yes, because my witness, Karina Valloni, was supposed to move in right after Jessica moved out, which was March 1st.
Yes.
But she came into the apartment, and it was still cluttered with Jessica's trash.
Step up. Were you taking over as roommate?
I was at the time, yes.
What's your name?
Karina Valloni.
Ms. Valloni, describe the room when you saw the room on March 1st.
Well, when I walked in, there was a gift bag, like a small gift bag with trash and broken glass in it, and there were various trash items on the floor. And in the bathroom, there was normal dirt, but beyond the dirt, there were dirty underwear in the bathtub. There were various things in the cupboards. In all of the cupboards, there were things.
Okay. When did you come back to get your stuff?
I put my 30-day notice in February 4th. I left February 4th. I paid my rent, and I went to live with my mom.
Just a second. Listen to me. When did you get out all of your things?
February 29th.
So the things that were in the room on March the 1st was discarded trash. Is that what
Yeah,
you're telling me?
there wasn't.
Shh. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
The stuff that was there was discarded trash.
In a bag.
Well, it's not just a bag. She's described to me not just a bag.
She's lying.
No, I don't think she's lying. All right, now I understand. And when did you finally clean up the room?
She said that she would come back, and she had until the 4th to actually clean it up, and she never came.
I tried to come back. We talked about the bills, and I asked her to pay her part of the gas and electric. She called me an F and hung up the phone on me.
Okay.
And Miss Valoni moved in. She was living there the whole month of February. And she moved her stuff in. She moved her stuff in the weekend that I moved my stuff out.
No,
I came.
Where was she?
I would come once in a while.
I'm speaking. I can't talk over you. In what room was she staying?
In the couch, in the living room, in the room during the week.
I don't
because
know.
She lived too far.
That doesn't have anything to do with you. You had a room. You didn't empty out your room.
But I did move my stuff out the last weekend of February. And she moved her stuff in already. Okay. She was living there the 4 days.
I heard you. What else?
I'm also suing her for the return payment from Cox. When she lent me the money, I paid her back about a week later.
She lent you some money. You paid her back?
Yes.
And what was she supposed to do with the money that she was lending you?
Pay cable bill for me. She offered.
And how much was the cable bill?
The cable bill was $315.98.
And you paid that cable bill for her?
I called and I made a telecheck over the phone transfer. And Cox Cable made a mistake and they didn't debit it out of my account.
Okay, so she paid you back, so you owe her $315. I'm speaking. So you owe her $315. Is that right?
I feel that for all the food that she consumed, the toiletries, everything that I bought, the laundry, the expenses, my SDG
I don't care what you feel. Listen, I don't care what you feel.
I
don't listen to me. I don't care what you feel.
I have a SDG bill here that she never paid part of.
How much is that for?
It's $450.
Show it to her.
$80 deposit, which was kept, and $70 for the month of February, which I wasn't living there.
Yes?
I never disputed not to pay, and I wrote her a letter.
And how much do you owe her?
Half of the bill.
And what is that?
$100.
That doesn't, I'm sorry, but that thing says $70.
Just a second.
$80 deposit.
Listen to me. Sit down.
It doesn't say that on there.
$80 deposit. I had to pay an $80 deposit
your
to open
purpose.
it. I had to give an $80 deposit.
Then you should get it back.
I can't get it back because it's for the month of January and February. They took that back. And this is the remainder of what's owed from January and February. And which also carpet cleaning, I paid $55 for because when I moved in, the carpet was completely filthy and disgusting.
Listen to me. I'm not your mother. I'm not your mother, I'm not her mother, and I have absolutely no intention of being the monitor over your $15 bills. She owes you for the 4 days through March 4th. Yes. I absolutely agree that she does. And she owes you the $315 that was not debited from her account, for which you reimbursed her for your cable bill, and $35, which is your share of the utility bill, $340. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Step out.
Case number 150 on the calendar in the matter of Beasley versus Williams. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Miss Beasley, you weren't there when this accident occurred with your car, is that right?
No.
Your daughter was driving your car or her boyfriend?
It's her car, and he was driving.
Okay. So you're here because you want to get some money for the damage to your car. Why don't you sit down for a moment, and I may ask you to come back. It's your car?
Yes.
How old are you?
16.
So your mother paid for the car?
No, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Good. How much did you pay for the car?
$2,200.
Where'd you get the money from?
I have a job.
And you allowed your boyfriend to drive the car?
I did.
And what date did this accident happen?
March 13th.
What kind of car was it?
A Grand Am.
Did you have insurance?
Yes.
Did you have collision insurance?
I have minimum coverage.
Okay. So who's going to speak for the two of you?
I am.
You were in the passenger seat. Tell me what happened.
We were driving down Troy Street, and as we were driving, we noticed that we had a problem earlier in the evening.
With whom?
Ron.
You know him?
Well, we didn't.
What drew you to his attention if you hadn't seen him before?
He was drag racing with other cars.
Your Honor, that's not true.
We noticed that he was racing other cars, and we thought it was funny, so at the next flight we took off, and I guess he was threatened that our car took off faster than his, and we passed through a light, but he got stuck at the red light, so we went downtown, and we didn't see him downtown after that until we were leaving.
Tell me about it when you saw him again that evening.
He was at a red light when we saw him, and we were approaching the red light. As we were approaching, the light turned green, and we went on through the light, and then he took off, and later down the road, he caught up with us, and he swerved at the car. We realized it was getting...
Your Honor,
I don't want to hear you yet. You'll have a chance.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
We realized that it was getting a little too out of control, so we decided that we would go home. And as we were heading home, we realized that he continued to follow us.
Now, Miss Beasley, was your boyfriend driving in a way that your mother wouldn't approve of?
At the beginning of the night, yes.
It's a good thing you said that. Now, did you tell your mother before today that your boyfriend was driving your car in an inappropriate manner?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Is that right? So that now, after you were playing around with him, I don't know what you were doing, you decided that you had enough and you were going home.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, we were driving down Troy, and we turned our left-hand turn signal on to turn onto...
Which are you? Are you pink or green?
We're the pink.
You're making a left-hand turn from the wrong lane.
No, it's a two-way road.
Oh, it's a two-way road?
Yes.
So what you're telling me is he came around and he was going the wrong way on that lane? Is that what you're telling me?
No, he was driving behind us, and as we went to make a left-hand turn, he tried to pass us.
Okay, now let me look at yours. Quite frankly, I'm looking at yours, and you're going to have to explain that to me. She's the pink car, is that
yes.
right?
I'm the green car. I was behind them.
Right.
And they put their left turn signal on under the overpass, and then they got onto the shoulder of the road to make that left-hand turn because they didn't slow down.
Yes.
He had his left turn signal on. I went to pass, and then he cut across.
Was he drunk?
I couldn't tell you.
Was he cited for being drunk, Mr. Williams?
I couldn't tell you, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, somebody would have to be either drunk or psychotic for me to attribute the kind of behavior that you have attributed to him, sir. Were you drag racing that night?
No, Your Honor.
I don't believe you.
My mother was sick with bronchitis. I was running to the 24-hour pharmacy for her. I was on my way back home from the downtown area.
Where's your mother?
She's at home.
What time did you go out to the pharmacy for your mother?
8:45, 9 o'clock at night.
And how far is the pharmacy from your house?
A good 15-minute drive.
And what time was this accident? What time was the accident?
Around 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night.
It was around about that time.
Well, what were you doing, sir, between 8:45 and 9 o'clock and 10:30? It's an hour and a half. How far is the pharmacy from your house?
Good 15 minutes, 20.
That's what you just told me.
Right.
So what were you doing out at 10:30 at night?
We went to the pharmacy. They said that her prescription wasn't ready. We started heading back, and then that's me and my witness, Richard.
Yes.
We started heading back, and then that's when we seen them on our way back on 31. We stopped at a stoplight. They pulled up. He threw the car in neutral, was revving it up. They were laughing. They thought it was funny. We started driving. He's hitting the gas and the brakes, trying to get me to race him. I rolled down. I had spud rolled down the window, and I told them that I'm not wasting my time on it. So we continued on down the road.
Mr. Williams, this happened at 10:30, an hour and a half later.
Right.
Why didn't you go home and say to your mother, the prescription wasn't ready, so instead of waiting, I came home? That would have brought you home at 9:15.
I don't even know what time. I don't even know if it happened about 10:30. Nobody had a watch or anything. I'm not sure exactly what time it happened, so we're just going on
Well, you're not sure, but they
it was that time because when the accident occurred, I called my mom and I did look at the cell phone to see what time it was.
Well, you're not sure, so she's sure. So if you're not sure, she's sure.
That's like taking their word, saying I was racing, and then me not saying
No. I didn't say anything about racing, Mr. Williams.
Okay.
I said to you, if your mother has bronchitis and you're going to the drugstore for her at 8:45 and the drugstore is 15 minutes away, I don't know what you'd be doing out at 10:30 at night without the prescription.
Waiting for it to get done.
Nah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He wasn't driving crazy, so we wouldn't be here.
I want to explain something to you. You should be driving sufficiently behind him so that you don't hit his car. Do I make myself clear, or you want me to explain it to you again?
Sure.
Good.
And later today,
I went for an overnight trip. I'm there a week. My mother has to come stay with my son. I'm lucky I had a job when I came back. He's the snowmobiler, not me. This
job.
man...
I'm speaking.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Jennifer Beasley says 18-year-old Ronald Williams owes for crashing into the side of her Pontiac Grand Am. Ronald says the driver, Jennifer's boyfriend, was trying to race him.
Why didn't your insurance company cover this damage?
Because the car was insured for my mother and not for myself.
That's not true.
Shh. So is what you're telling me you're not supposed to be driving that car?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if you're not supposed to be driving the car, Mr. Williams, why were you driving it?
She gave me permission to run to the pharmacy for her.
Listen, if your mother wanted to insure you, it would probably increase her premiums on the car, which is why she chooses not to insure you, which is why she indicates to her insurance company that you will not be driving the car. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I wasn't there, so I don't know whose fault it is. All I know is one thing. If you hadn't done the wrong thing by getting behind the wheel of a car that you knew you had no right to get behind, we wouldn't be standing here today because your insurance would have paid for it. Can't
I
do the
also
wrong
believe
thing.
that if he wasn't driving like, I don't know, if he wasn't driving crazy, so we wouldn't be here
I
either.
want to explain something to you. If you're driving right behind him, you should be driving sufficiently behind him so that you don't hit his car. And if he pulls off to the side of the road, you should be driving slowly enough. Slowly, because you said you saw him before and he was trying to drag race you before. Is that what you told me, Mr. Williams? Is that what you told me?
Yes, that's what I told you.
Then if that's what you told me, and if you wanted to avoid a problem, then you're not driving up his behind so that you can't stop your car if he goes off to the shoulder and then makes a quick left turn, which I don't believe. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do I make myself clear, or you want me to explain it to you again? Clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. How much did it cost you to fix the car?
We haven't fixed it yet. We have estimates.
Can I see them, please? Miss Beasley, you could step up now, because I don't want to hear from him, because I...
We also have a letter
I have
that
one.
said that the car wasn't insured at all at the time of the accident.
Car wasn't insured at all?
Yes.
How could you be driving a car that's not insured at all?
That's funny because the insurance company sent us a check in the mail because they dropped all the cars and we had to get more insurance on the cars from another company. So the car was insured.
Our letter is from his insurance company.
I have photos also, Your Honor.
Can I see the photos, please? Sure.
Thank you. That's it? You didn't want to see these?
Yeah, they're right.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, there was no policy in force on the date of this accident, and the policy has been rescinded. And I have photographs which clearly indicate that you hit them on the driver's side door. Mr. Williams, you got to do the right thing, sir. If you don't do the right thing, you end up on the short end of the stick, sir. And if you have no insurance, or if the car had insurance but you weren't supposed to be driving, then you shouldn't have been driving. And you weren't so worried about your mother because you went out at 8:45 and you were still trolling around at 10:30 without the prescription. So, judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,602. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. He rolled the window down and tried to talk to us, and we rolled our window up.
They're hitting the gas, trying to get me to race, roll down their window, and I was like, I'm not wasting my time with you, so.
He's just saying stuff about how he needed to go home and get a different car that was faster.
I feel I have no responsibility. Her boyfriend was driving recklessly, and that's what they get.
I learned my lesson that I'm going to be the only one driving my car.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lesser versus Kaufman. Step forward, please.
Commercial vehicle inspector Landis Lesser is suing her ex-boyfriend, contractor Chip Kaufman, for the cost of a helicopter rescue during a snowmobile trip.
Miss Lesser, Mr. Kaufman was your boyfriend, and according to what I read, uncross your arm, sir. According to what I read, you and the defendant decided to go on a snowmobiling vacation, an overnight, last December. You did that, and when you got to around where the campsite was, where you were supposed to spend the night, there was a blizzard, and you got snowed in. You called for a helicopter to rescue you. Helicopter came ultimately and rescued you. You want Mr. Kaufman to pay for the helicopter bill. Mr. Kaufman says he owes you nothing. You decided to call for a helicopter. You called. It just happened to be a helicopter that was being piloted by an ex-boyfriend of yours. He didn't ask you to call for a helicopter. He was just as happy to wait there until the situation resolved itself. You wanted to get out. Pay for it, right?
Yes.
If I'm wrong, tell me.
That was it.
On what date in December did you decide to take this snowmobiling excursion?
That would have been on December 26th. Chip had brought up the fact that he wanted to go on this snowmobile trip.
Chip.
And that he was going to call, actually the people in Deadwood are friends of his.
I don't care. You went on the 26th.
Okay, we went on the 27th.
Fine.
He brought it up
27.
Yes.
Okay. And how far did you go?
We rode in 25 miles.
When did it start to snow?
That evening after we got into our cabin and went to bed. When I woke up the next morning, there was a lot of snow. The day that we went in, there was no snow.
Had you called to check on the weather?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I'm not a snowmobiler. He owns the snowmobiles. He planned this trip. He's like, hey, let's go in.
How old are you?
I am 39 years old.
Miss Lesser, if you're going on a snowmobile trip, in what state is this?
Idaho. I have never been
Idaho.
on a trip.
And it snows a lot in Idaho?
Not like this. I have never seen snow like this.
So what happened on the 28th?
On the 28th, I woke up and I said, Chip, it snowed a lot. He laid in bed. I would say another 45 minutes. He got up and he's like, oh no, it was incredible the amount of snow that they got in that area overnight.
When you slept in the cabin, was there a fire?
Yes.
So you were warm?
Yes.
And did you have food?
Yes, at the lodge they had food.
Good, fine. And when did you finally call for this helicopter?
The date would have been Friday the 2nd of January, 2004.
Okay, and from the 28th when you were there, did you sleep in the cabin?
Yes.
And you had food in the lodge?
Yes.
So there was no emergency?
Correct.
So what made you call the helicopter?
Because it kept snowing and snowing. Chip had a friend, Jeff, that is a hotshot snowmobile rider that they ride together, and he could not make it in to rescue us. The groomer was broke down.
But you were safe in the cabin.
But we've missed a week of work, ma'am, and I have a 15-year-old son.
Well, you both missed a week of work, and so you had to get home for your son. Now, what happened when you said you wanted to call this helicopter? What did Mr. Kaufman say?
We had discussed it after these parties tried to rescue us, and we had both agreed that we would dispatch the helicopter.
And how much was the helicopter?
$1,710.
Okay. And why do you think that he should pay this whole amount, Miss Lesser?
I went for an overnight trip. I'm there a week. I miss a week of work. My mother has to come stay with my son.
So?
I'm lucky I had a job when I came back.
So?
He's the snowmobiler, not me. He owns the snowmobiles. He knew the people. This was all his idea. I was along for the ride. We had been having trouble. We went through the holiday season, got along pretty good. He wanted to do this.
Gotcha.
I went with him because
so I
he wanted
understand
to do
that's
this.
your rationale. Now, Mr. Kaufman, you're going to explain to me, sir, why you shouldn't be responsible for this airlift.
Well, because Miss Lesser and I didn't discuss the agreement on this helicopter deal. It was all her idea.
How much money did you give her, sir?
I gave her $350 so far.
You said $250.
No, I said $350.
Did you? Maybe I read it wrong.
Maybe
He's
I read it
only
wrong.
paid $250.
$350, Your Honor.
Yes, you said you gave her $350 in cash. Can you prove it to me that you gave her $350 instead of $250?
Other than what I documented for my first payment was just approximately the end of March. And
how much did you give her?
$250 there.
Yeah.
And then on April 9th, another $100. And then on and then that was it.
And when did he give you according to you, $250?
I have a calendaring of every time that I have talked to Chip. This started, I have certified letters.
You're bothering me.
Okay.
You're annoying me.
All right. I talked to him on March
Miss Lesser.
28th.
Miss Lesser.
He paid me on the 17th of April $250, which I went out to his work and picked up because he has a problem.
Fine. Now you answered my question.
Okay.
Okay. You may have been a guest on the... I'm speaking! You may have been a guest on the trip. However, you have the same ability that he does to call and check on the weather for the trip.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't do that. The two of you chose, according to you, to get out because you had been out of work for a week, plus the fact that you had a 15-year-old son who required care. And it would seem to me that this was an unanticipated expense. So irrespective of the fact that you were a guest and there was a trip on him, this was an unanticipated cost. It would seem to me that I agree with you that you both discussed being airlifted out of there because you had been there already almost a week longer than you anticipated, and that it's a cost that should be borne between the two of you. So half the cost for him after he's paid his $250 is $725. I'm entering a judgment accordingly. Thank you very much.
Party Judge, it's number 146 on the calendar in the matter of Moore versus World Auto Wholesaler. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Ms. Moore, you purchased a used car from the defendant's company.
Correct.
When did you purchase that car?
That was purchased on October 10th of 2003.
And it is your claim that you suffered substantial damage.
Yes, ma'am.
You lost pets, you had aggravation, they harassed you because you didn't pay for the car.
Correct.
And they tried to repossess it. So you want to be compensated to the tune of $3,800.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Workman says that they did try to repossess their car because you stopped paying for it. And they are counterclaiming because Mr. Workman says that you promised them that if they repossessed the car, you were going to get it back in pieces, and you kept your word. So you bought the car on October 10th, 2003. And what did you pay for this car?
I'm not sure. I don't have a copy of the contract that I signed.
Why not?
They didn't give me one. I went in by myself. I traded my vehicle.
Miss Moore, if what you're telling me is that you purchased this car and you didn't get a copy of the contract, and you're a grown-up lady and you didn't say, can I have a copy of the contract? I don't believe you.
That's correct. I didn't.
I just want to know what you want me to believe, that's all. Can I see a copy of the contract, please? Mr. Workman, how long have you been in business?
Our corporation's been in business for 2 years.
Okay, so you bought this car and the amount of the contract was $4,894 and payments of $120 bi-weekly for 37 and a half payments. And the first payment was due on November the 22nd, 2003, giving you a little more than a month to start making payments. Now, did you take the car on October 10th?
Yes, I did.
And you drove it from his business to your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you drive it until the 22nd of November?
On November the 6th, I had a car accident.
With this car?
Yes, I did.
And what happened to the car?
I accidentally pulled out into another vehicle. It did some damage to the radiator. On November the 7th, I called to tell him that I was going to be late.
Just a second. You called to tell him you were going to be late with what?
My payments.
Why?
Because I was making them early. I had already made a $200 payment.
When did you make a $200 payment?
It was shortly after I got it. He called them a pickup payment.
What does that mean?
Pickup payments, Your Honor, is basically what covers the taxes, the fees for their tag, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. You made a payment of $200 when?
I don't have that date. I'm sorry.
When?
October the 18th.
So on 10/18, you made a $200 payment. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then you had a month to make your first payment.
Right.
No, Your Honor. What it is, she has 4 straight pickup payments.
Mr. Workman, do you have another agreement that she signed?
It's like a pickup payment schedule.
Can I see that, please? Okay, so she did sign a second contract, and the second contract says that there are 4 of these sort of pickup payments that cover taxes, license plate, title, and miscellaneous fees, which, Mr. Workman, I wouldn't be happy with this. You understand that? Because there's a lot of who shot John. You understand what I'm saying to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
This is sort of outrageous, and you understand what I mean when I say that this is hokum?
We do that, Your Honor, because a lot of times they don't have the down payment plus for the taxes and title.
Listen to me. What are miscellaneous fees? You got $400 there.
We always charge what they call a delivery fee.
What does that mean, delivery fee?
It's prep fees, Your Honor.
It's baloney. It's baloney. I just want you to know that I know it's baloney.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you know it's baloney. All right, but you got the car. Now, you called him up, according to you, and said, I'm going to be late with my payments. He's not your brother, your father, your husband, your best friend. He doesn't give a rat's behind whether or not you have problems. You bought a car, you took his car worth $5,000, and before you know it, lickety-split, you're not making payments. You pay $200, and then you say, Now, after you paid the initial $200 on the 18th of October, Miss Moore,
yes, ma'am.
And I want you to be a crybaby, after you made the $200 payment, the pickup payment...
two pickup payments.
Of how much?
$200 a piece.
Okay, so you paid a total of $400?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you make the second $200 payment?
It was, I believe, a week or two after. I'm sorry, I don't
When did you make the second $200 payment?
She only made 2 payments, Your Honor. That was the 18th, and the following week after that.
So
she stopped making payments on the afternoon.
I didn't ask you anything else. I said, when did she make the second payment? She made the second payment on or about the 25th of October, a week later. Now, after the 25th of October, when did you make your next payment?
I hadn't made another payments on it.
Fine. When was the first time that they tried to repossess the car?
On December the 2nd.
Okay. So you missed the payment that was due on November 22nd.
Yes, ma'am.
And 2 weeks later, they tried to repossess the car. Tell me how they tried to do that.
I was getting out of the shower. I heard a noise. I looked out my front window and saw a white car. I hurried, got dressed, ran outside, and saw Mr. Rios.
This gentleman right here?
Yes, coming around the back. I said...
Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, step up.
I said, excuse me, can I help you? I didn't know who he was. He said, I'm here to take the vehicle. I said, no, you're not. Why I had said that was I had talked to Neil. He said it wouldn't be a problem. So I was kind of confused because Neil had told me it was okay to see Mr. Rios there.
Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am. She told me she was having financial troubles, okay?
And what'd you say?
And I told her we need a payment in here as soon as possible.
Okay. That sounds more logical than if you say, well, I forgive you, you can make a payment when you can. We need the payment here as soon as possible. Is that the last conversation you had with her?
No, ma'am.
Did you call her back and say, listen, I've given you an extra week or so?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Right then and there, I knew she was going to default on the loan.
Well, what made you think you have a Ouija board?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I took your car. I didn't pay for it.
Yes.
And unless you release the car so that we get the car for free, we're going to sue you. That comes under the category of major chutzpah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lori Moore says auto finance manager Neil Workman owes for the attempted repossession of her '96 Geo Tracker. Neil says Lori returned the vehicle in shambles.
Now, she did in fact call you, sir, and say, I'm going to be late. And you said, well, we need a payment here as soon as possible. And within 2 weeks of the date the payment was due, Mr. Rios went to repossess the car. Don't you think it would have been good form to give her a call and say, listen, we're going to come to repossess this car unless you get a payment in here?
We didn't start repossession procedures until December the 1st.
What I'm saying to you is your first payment, sir, was due November 22nd. She had already made your 4 pickup fee payments. So we're not talking about a month or 2 months here. We're talking about less than 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
10 days. What if she had gotten her payment to you 5 days on November 27th?
I would have stopped repossession procedures.
Listen to me. You didn't start them until December 1st, Mr. Workman. What if she had called and said, I'm going to be a little late with my payment? You said, we need a payment as soon as possible. And she got her payment to you on the 27th or the 28th of November.
I would have never started repossession procedures.
Right, because that's really not late. If you're 5 days late, people usually don't start repossession in 5 days, right? Right?
No, ma'am.
You start repossession in 5 days?
Within 5 days, if they default on the first payment.
Well, she really didn't. She made 4 payments. She made 4 payments, and one of them was for this bogus delivery fee. Right?
No, Your Honor. She only made 2 payments of $200, $100 and another $100.
I thought you said that you sent in $200 twice.
I did.
Let me see the checks.
I do not have them. It was cash that I gave.
I have the receipt, Your Honor.
Can I see them, please?
Yes.
Miss Moore.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't try to put one over on me, madam.
I'm not. I did make those payments.
Don't try to pull one over on me, madam. Okay, she came in and she gave you $100 here on 10/25, and on 10/17 she gave you another $100. Absolutely right. You fib, Miss Moore. You made 2 payments on the $400 pickup fee. You didn't make all the payments, so you were really far behind. Mr. Workman, you're absolutely right. I would have started to repossess the car too. All right, so now on the 2nd of December, you've just come out of the shower, you look outside, you see Mr. Rios, he's going into your backyard to retrieve the truck, which he had a perfect right to do because you were delinquent in your payment. And what happened?
Well, when I came out, I told him he needed to leave.
And did he leave?
No. He stood there trying to intimidate me. I yelled for my 4-year-old to grab the phone. I called 911. He took off running.
Okay.
When I walked around to the front of the gate, my gates were standing wide open, and 3 of our dogs were gone. The fence posts, because they had opened it so wide to get the truck out, were pulled out of the ground. One of the dogs came back, which belonged to my landlord, who lives in an apartment on the property. My dog did not come back, as well as one of his.
All right. Now, the only reason that I have a question for you is, why didn't you just take the truck?
I didn't take the truck because she was inside the car. As soon as she saw me coming in, she went and ran and got inside the car.
I did get in the car because I was told that it was okay by Neil.
Just a second. So you didn't take it because she was sitting in the car?
Right.
Now I understand. All right. What's next?
We put the flyers up for a lost dog.
I don't care about your lost dog, madam. Let's go. Let's move forward. Now, why didn't you pay for the car?
I was paying for the car. I was out of work.
You didn't, Miss Moore. You didn't pay for the car.
You're right. I was behind, and I had plans on coming in. I told him that. After this happened, I sent him a letter. The dog was gone. We had the dog for 6 years.
If he wanted the truck, why didn't you give it to him?
Because I had invested so much money in repairing the top, the engine, the tires. I had over $3,000 in repairs already invested into this, as well as trading my vehicle. And I didn't want...
He was there. He had a right to take back his property. You knew that you hadn't paid for the property.
I was also told it would be okay. And after...
No. He didn't tell you it would be okay.
He did tell me it would be okay.
No, I don't believe that. I believe that what he said to you was, we need a payment as soon as possible. I think it would have been right for him to call you and say, bring the car in, rather than sending Mr. Rios out to get it. So he tried to repossess the car on December 2nd. And you got into the car, which you didn't tell me.
Yes, I sat in the
But you didn't tell me. You said he ran away, so he didn't take the car. What happened next?
He didn't take the car. I called Neil to say why. You know, you told me it would be okay. I was coming in on December the 2nd to make the payment.
Okay, so now we come to December 2nd. Did you go in and make a payment December 2nd?
No, I didn't. I sent him a letter saying that we wanted the lien released because of the fact that we had to put all the money into fixing the fence, replacing the landlord's dog, and our dog, which we had had for 6 years.
So you told him in your letter, you have a copy of the letter?
Yes, I do.
Well, that you have a copy of.
There you go.
Thank you. This says, we are writing to request the release of the lien for your car, which means you want him to give you the car free and clear. Correct? And you want him to give you the car free and clear because you say your company committed multiple crimes, including breaking and entering, unlawful entry, inflicting of emotional distress on our 4-year-old. Your illegal action caused the loss of 2 family pets. My landlord is preparing to sue you for the loss of his dog, breaking and entering. We have witnesses. You're asking that you release the lien within 5 days. Failure to do so will result in us filing a lawsuit, possibly criminal charges, and the loss of your dealer's license. So what you're saying to them is, I took your car. I didn't pay for it.
Yes.
You tried to come and get it. We don't like the way you try to come and get it. And unless you release the car so that we get the car for free, we're going to sue you. That's what... In effect,
I know.
In effect, that's what you're saying to them, Ms. Moore.
Yes, because...
All right. Well, you know, that's comes under the category of major chutzpah. That means nerve.
Your Honor?
I'm not saying that I like your tactics. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I don't like your tactics. But this letter that suggests that you should get the car for free is major nerve. All right. So you wrote him this letter, and what happened, Ms. Moore?
We didn't hear from them.
And then?
On January 19th, we went to Walmart. I ran in to grab some milk. My husband and son had stayed in the car. When I came out, my husband was running around yelling, call 911. Mr. Rios had punctured the tire, and a few minutes later, a car came and blocked us in. I dialed 911. The police came, told them that they had no right to the vehicle and they needed to leave. I have a towing receipt from that night, my husband's hospital bill, and a receipt for the tire.
What was his hospital bill for?
When he was in the car, he was turned around playing with my son when he punctured it. My husband went to get up and the seat broke, causing a pain in his back. I have the doctor's notes.
I don't need a doctor's note. He looks just fine to me. You feeling good, sir?
Better.
Do you work?
Right now, no.
Actually, he's disabled.
Disabled as a result of what?
A bad car accident in 1999.
So he hasn't worked since 1999?
No, ma'am.
Does he receive disability?
We're still trying.
So he doesn't receive disability?
I support my family.
How?
I own a business.
What kind of business?
A collection agency.
Okay. So it's those two incidents that you're suing him for, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Okie dokie, good. Now, when did you finally give him back the car?
We went to court for mediation. We're in there, and he's bad-mouthing me very loud to everybody.
When did you finally give him back the car?
I gave him back the car on April the 4th.
Your Honor, she called me and told me that Mr. Rios tried to repossess the vehicle again. So I told her, I said, well, it looks like you're not going to give up the vehicle, so I'm going to go ahead and get a court order to release the vehicle to me. She quoted saying, if you do, I will deliver the car in pieces.
That is not true.
And I have pictures up here of the vehicle after she delivered.
Are you telling me she delivered this car like this?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take pictures of the car the day that you returned it?
No, I didn't feel it was important.
There you go.
Yeah,
Would you show that to Ms. Moore,
We had an
please?
officer escort us because of all the problems that they had given us.
Oh, well, then
This
let me see
company-
that. Let me see that police report.
That is not the vehicle that we delivered. It had some damage to it, but that is not the condition we returned that vehicle in. Mr. Rios has been in prison due to operating chop shops.
Shh, don't go there. Don't go there. You didn't do the right thing, Miss Moore. You have to come to court with clean hands. This, madam, is not an illegal repossession. You enjoyed this car for 6 months without paying for it.
Your Honor.
Miss Moore, and
Yes.
you can't do that. You buy something, you pay for it. If you don't pay for it, the company, even if you're dealing with people that are questionable, I mean, I don't like this contract, and I told them I don't like this contract, but you're a businesswoman, you have, according to a collection agency, yet you want me to believe, Miss Moore, that you purchased a car, and I didn't take my receipt, and I didn't take a copy. Miss Moore, I'm sympathetic only marginally with you. You didn't do the right thing. You purchased a car, and then you sought to get it for nothing. Now, I'm not 100% positive that this is her car. I mean, I have a VIN number here, and I have to be able to see that this is the same car. She says it's not. This isn't the same way she delivered it. I'm not so sure because Miss Moore fibs.
Your
She
Honor.
What?
When we went to court for it, the judge, because they filed to sue under a false name, the judge gave them 30 days to amend their suit. That was on April the 28th. They didn't refile again until after I filed my lawsuit.
How come you didn't do it? Shh. How come you didn't do it?
What we was going to do, Your Honor, is just write it off as a bad loan.
Well, then maybe that's what you should do, sir. Maybe that's what you ought to do. You had 30 days in which to refile. You didn't do that. So you are bound by this judge's order. As far as your complaint is concerned, Ms. Moore, you buy something, you pay for it. You're in business. You know that. You wouldn't like it if, in your business, if you collected a fee from somebody and the business that you collected a fee for didn't pay you. What would you do? What would you do? That's how you're in business. That's how you support your family.
I have laws that I go by, and I've never let...
One of the basic laws, madam, is if you buy something, you pay for it. Otherwise, it's called stealing. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Case number 121 on the calendar in the matter of Vaughn versus Peck. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, folks.
Mr. Vaughn, let me try to understand what your lawsuit is about. According to what I've read, you rescued this dog, I assume, from a shelter.
Yes, ma'am, from a city shelter.
And then you turned the dog over to the defendant's shelter for the purposes of being, I assume, adopted.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was months ago. And now you want the dog back. Ms. Peck says she's not going to give you the dog back because she's afraid that what you really want to do is to have the dog euthanized because you've done that before with other animals. And she said the whole problem is that you were interested in her socially, and that since she rebuffed your advances socially, you want to get even by taking the dog back. Something like that. Is that right? Okay. I understand, Mr. Vaughn, according to you, that you've donated a substantial amount of money to Miss Peck's shelter. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
How much money have you donated to Miss Peck's shelter?
Roughly $60,000 to $80,000.
You have proof of that, sir?
Yes, I do, Your
I'd
Honor.
like to see it.
Your Honor, may I say something?
I just want to see his proof that he's donated that kind of money to your shelter. Okay. How did you become interested in this rescue, in this Chihuahua rescue, Mr. Vaughn?
Well, about a little over 8 years ago, my roommate and I adopted Chihuahuas from Miss Peck here. We adopted the ones that she says could not be adopted out because they were aggressive, they were biters, and we adopted them.
How many did you adopt?
Probably around 4, maybe 5 at the most.
Did you have any of them euthanized?
Yes, Your Honor. After my roommate passed away, it was in her will that all of her animals be put to sleep, cremated, and buried with her. I took it upon myself. She loved her animals, and she did not want them to be turned back over to Miss Peck.
Why didn't you take care of them?
Well, 17 Chihuahuas is a lot of Chihuahuas.
So you euthanized 17 Chihuahuas?
I had 9 Chihuahuas, the ones that were under medication and have had a beautiful, healthy, happy life, and were getting sickly. The older ones, I had them put to sleep.
How many? 9 of them.
They was cremated, and they was buried with Miss Peg in a pet cemetery.
She was buried in a pet cemetery?
Yes. That was her wish and her will.
Why do you want this dog back?
I want this dog back to where I can take care of it and give it a proper home at my house.
Why did you give it away in the first place?
Well, I adopted the dog from a city animal shelter because it had mange problems. I wanted it to have a chance to get a good home out in the public and not be euthanized at the shelter because of its condition.
Okay.
I then took it straight to a vet, which I have papers of ownership and the vet records.
I understand. Sir, you turned the dog over to the defendant. Why do you want the dog back now?
Because the dog was not adopted out as it was planned, and the dog did not receive proper medication as it should have, and was quarantined in a little small cages, roughly 2 foot by 2 foot. And it's not right for an animal to be confined like that on top of another cage with animals under it.
I'll hear you. When did he turn the dog over to you?
In December.
Okay, is there any reason why this puppy has not been adopted?
He and the witness who's with him now actually adopted the dog a long time ago from a city shelter, and they broke up. And when they broke up, George gave us the dog to care for. I should probably call the veterinarian who can explain the condition of this dog.
Is there a veterinarian here?
Yes, Dr. Hahn. Could you explain?
Could you step up, please? What kind of skin condition does this puppy have?
He's got a condition called demodectic mange, which is a little like mite that lives in the hair follicles, and he's got Seborrhea oleosa, which is like a...
And there's nothing you can do for him to get him better?
You can control it, but you can't cure it. Well, the mites you can cure in some cases. With him, he's been a real problem because he has a real bad case of it, and it may never be able to be cleared up. But the Seborrhea will always be with him, and it's just a control measures that you have to do to make him feel better, like bathing him regularly. And
do they do that at the shelter?
Kimi does it, yes, Your Honor.
Is it a male or female?
Male.
Male. Does he ever get to go home with somebody, or is he in a cage all the time?
We have a sanctuary as well as a rescue organization. Some dogs I evaluate and I give them a lot of time. If I don't feel they're adoptable, if I don't feel there's going to be someone that I can trust to treat this dog the rest of his life, he will stay in a sanctuary where he will be loved. He will have a lot of volunteers. We're open to the public. This dog, I would have to find a very special person for if we were to place him. I'd have to do home checks. I'd have to do surprise home checks the rest of his life.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. When I adopted the dog from the shelter. I took it straight to my vet. He treated the dog, and then the dog, after it was treated, came back to Miss Anderson's house, my witness, and she took care of the dog until it was well enough to be neutered.
So?
And then the dog was neutered in November the 7th.
So?
And then it was taken to Miss Peck's place.
The question is why?
Why?
Yeah.
The dog was turned
I mean, did the two of you, were you living with this lady?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Yeah.
She's a good friend. She's an animal groomer. She does medicate and take care of animals.
Okay, but she didn't want the dog.
Can I speak?
What?
When I'm the one that found the dog at the animal shelter.
So?
I told him, he went in and rescued him.
Good.
He took him to me. We took him to the vet. I'm the one that initiated his care. And by the way, these dogs, demodectic mange is not end stage, and it is treatable, and it is curable.
Okay, good.
Because I have many.
My question to you is, you did not want the dog.
We bailed it out to put it up for adoption.
Okay, well,
at
that's
the time,
what was done.
I had a venue where I adopted him, where I tried to adopt him. We lost that venue. He took him to her, hoping he would get adopted out.
Oh,
that hasn't happened.
Oh, listen to me. All I am saying to you is, you did not want this dog.
If we hadn't have been able to find a suitable home, either one of us would be willing to keep him.
Sit down. You can have a seat, Dr. Hahn. Thank you. This is my problem. It is clear from what you tell me that you were not interested in keeping this dog for yourself, but that you wanted the dog cared for initially by the defendant and adopted by someone else and cared for by someone else. Ordinarily, if you said to me, well, they haven't been able to adopt this dog out because of the condition, I want the dog back now, I might say, well, that sounds like a better plan than keeping the dog for the next 10 years in a situation where occasionally it'll have a play date, but for a good part of the time it's kept in a locked situation. But I think it's nutty to have euthanized 9 dogs to be cremated and buried because some old lady says that that's her last wish. And you comply with that wish and kill 9 and have 9 dogs that weren't all ready to go at the same time, buried with this lady's ashes in a dog cemetery. That, Mr. Vaughn, is a little kooky to me, sir. And I, Mr. Vaughn, quite frankly, would not sleep well if I turned this dog over to you. So I'm dismissing your lawsuit. Do you understand? You're not getting the dog back, and you're not getting $1,500 back, because anybody that can kill 9 dogs is not playing with a full deck. Goodbye. Thank you.
He was stalking me. He was driving by the kennel. He was threatening to harm me and all of our dogs.
She's got an issue with people that she cannot control.
He had asked me to marry him, and I don't know if this is about rejection or it seems suspicious.
Why would I propose to someone married to a man, plus living with another man? Why would I want to get tangled up in something like that?
She was very quick, and she went right to the point, and I'm thrilled, and I'm so happy for this dog.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Williams versus Williams. Step forward, please.
25-year-old law student Michael Williams is suing his ex-girlfriend, homemaker Elaine Williams, for money owed due to breach of contract. Michael says Elaine promised not to throw him out of the house.
Mr. Williams, you're not related to the defendant, are you?
No, ma'am.
According to what I read, she was a family friend. You rented a room from her. You claim a breach of contract for some nonsense, and then a loan to her in a small amount, $150 or $250. Miss Williams says she never had a contract with you for anything, and she never borrowed any money from you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you known Miss Williams?
June of last year.
What happened last June, Mr. Williams?
I knew she was renting a room, so I went to her house, her apartment in June. We talked. She said she would rent the room out to me. While I was there, I was appreciative that I had the room, because I am a student trying to go to school, and she didn't charge too much for rent. Unfortunately, her feelings for me started to grow, and in the process of her feelings getting in the way, she started getting violent. Her violence was taking over. I couldn't handle the violence anymore, so at the end of that year, which was in December, I left.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me,
Yes, no,
smart
no
mouth.
No, ma'am, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm not trying to have a smart mouth, and that's...
Well, then I want you to be quiet,
Yes,
because when I'm speaking, I'm the only person who speaks.
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Williams says he had a deal with former live-in girlfriend Elaine Williams. Michael says Elaine agreed to pay him if she wanted him to move out.
Go ahead.
I left, and then about 2 weeks after I left, she called me talking about she missed my company. She wanted me to come back. She wouldn't care who I have over for company, male, female, whatever. She didn't mind. She would reduce my rent, and she would give me about 2 or 3 months free. When I moved back, I made sure everything was clear. I let her know I was going to tape record her because she lies a lot. I put the tape recorder on the table. I said, Mrs. Williams, you are aware that we're recording. Oh, yes, okay, okay. She agreed to everything.
And that's what's on that tape recording?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'd like to hear that.
Now, Elaine. Bye now. Babe, what's today's date? Sunday, the 18th. Are you aware that we are recording right now? Yes. Okay. And where we at? We're in the kitchen, right? And the tape recorder's on. Now, are you sure you want me back here? I know I'm here now. My stuff is here. But if you don't want me here, I do not mind packing my stuff and leaving. I will still be your friend. I'm not going to say, well, since you don't want me here, I'm going to press charges. No, I'm not going to press charges because of that. I agreed to drop the charges on Monday. I won't press the charges Monday. I know you're going to do that. Okay, well, I'm right here on tape. It is recording right now. The question I'm asking you is, are you sure you want me to be here, living here at this house with you for at least another 6 months? Yes, I thought you just interviewed me before. Why you make me repeat myself? Yes, before. Why you make me repeat myself? Making sure you remember what you told me. You want to stop me? No, I'm making sure you remember what you told me, and I'm making sure you haven't changed your mind. I would agree to pay you $200 a month for rent, and I will take my 2 months rent for free. That ain't no money. Now you're trying to... No, ma'am, I'm not. Let it be known for the record, I'm not trying to cheat Elaine. Who are you going to play that tape to? It depends on my business in the street. Whoever say I'm lying. No problem. Okay, I agree. Okay, I agree not to take the 3 months free. I'll take the 2 months.
Sorry for too so long to get to that part, ma'am. But it is on the tape.
I don't care whether it's on the
yes,
tape.
I'm just letting you know that it is on tape, and she did say.
I don't care whether it's. Listen to me very carefully, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't care if it's on the tape or not.
Ma'am.
Miss Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
47. My birthday was June the 3rd.
Okay. And how do you support yourself?
Well, right now, I do home care for some people that I know, and I go to Urban League. I'm in computers, mathematics, and English at Urban League.
So they're trying to teach you a trade?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you get any kind of disability, any kind of Social Security?
No, well, just my baby gets some money, and my baby father's singing some money from Cleveland, Ohio.
And when was the last time you were employed on a full-time basis?
Oh, I worked for Afro bail bondsman, but I was living by Southwest Police Department. I working for him. Everything was going all right till he wanted to turn the job into loving. So I know you want to hear that, so I left.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
You said that you were going to school?
Yes.
What kind of school do you go to?
I go to El Camino Community College.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
A lawyer.
And you think that this created a contract?
Yes, ma'am.
It didn't.
In my eyes, it's documented evidence that we agreed upon.
I don't care what it is in your eyes. Get glasses.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me explain to you very briefly, sir, what a contract is. Either a contract that is written or a contract that is oral. The first thing that you have to have in a contract is a meeting of the minds. That's the first thing. And if you ever get to law school, your contract professor is going to tell you that you cannot have a valid, binding contract unless two people have a meeting of the minds. And for a variety of sundry reasons, Mr. Williams, you and this lady did not have a meeting of your respective minds.
Oh, yes, ma'am, yes, we did. I'm sorry I didn't get to that point, but yes, we did.
No.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
No, you didn't, sir, because I'm
wanted me
not
back
quite
sober.
sure that each of you had the equipment. I heard nothing on this tape recording that suggests to me that there was ever a meeting of the minds, which is a prerequisite to having a contract.
You didn't get that
because
far.
that's what I heard enough.
No, ma'am, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. You're a hustler.
No, ma'am.
You're a hustler.
Okay.
You're a hustler, and you're taking advantage of her. And if you didn't want, put your hand down. And if you didn't want to move back in with her, then you don't move back in with her. And if you felt as if she was taking advantage of you, then go find someplace else to live. Now, you had a complaint against her, and you said that you were going to notify the district attorney that you weren't going to proceed so she wouldn't have to go to jail. What kind of a complaint did you have against her, sir?
That might have been either the criminal threats or the assault and battery.
And you were willing to drop those charges against her if she told you could come back and give you a few months free rent and reduce your rent to $200. Is that what? That's what you told her on the machine?
That's not how it was.
Oh, yes, that's exactly what you told her. That was your voice.
No, it wasn't like that.
That was your voice.
Yes, I
because
said
somebody
that,
listened to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Smart
no
mouth.
No, ma'am. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm not trying to have a smart mouth in that sense.
Well, then I want you to be quiet.
Yes,
because when I'm speaking, I'm the only person who speaks.
Yes, ma'am.
If somebody complains to the police and to the district attorney that they are in fear of their safety because someone has assaulted them, threatened them, battered them, they don't go back to that house in an attempt to negotiate a lower rent. Do you understand, sir? That doesn't make any sense.
Ma'am, she called me offering
I don't care if she called you. What difference does it make if she called you? You say, don't call me, I'm afraid of you.
Michael,
and if you call me again, I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you call me again, I'm going to call the district attorney and the police because I'm afraid of you. You assaulted me. You don't say, well, I'll come back and I'm not afraid of you if you agree to give me a reduction in rent and a couple of months free. Do you understand, Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Goodbye. Go get a life.
Yeah, this is case number 34 on the calendar in the matter of Kibble versus Kilmer. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
How old are you, Miss Kibble?
I'm 17.
You're a mother? According to what I read, your mother moved out of state. Is that right? Where had you been living?
I was living with my cousin.
In what state?
In Indiana.
And where did you move to?
I moved from Chicago to Portage, Indiana in February.
And how far is that away from where your daughter was living?
Prior, in Illinois, I was about a 20-minute ride.
Let's start over again. Were you and your daughter living together?
No, ma'am.
No.
Why not?
I was waiting to relocate into Indiana from Illinois. And she was attending school there and wanted to keep attending school there.
In Indiana?
In Indiana.
Okay. Had you been living with your daughter in Indiana? Or was your daughter living with you at any time?
No, ma'am.
Who were you living with?
I first lived with my Aunt Angela. And then
until you were how old?
Until I was about 15, maybe 16.
So you never lived with your mother?
Not in Indiana.
Anywhere?
Yes. When
Where?
In Las Vegas.
When you were how old?
From the time I was born until I was 14.
After you were 14, you lived with other relatives?
Yes.
You want to tell me why?
We don't have the best relationship.
You have any siblings?
I have a little sister.
Who does your sister live with?
My mom.
According to what I read, there came a time when you moved in with the defendant because you were a very good friend of her daughter's.
We were best friends.
And you lived with her for a while, and then there was an incident where you had a falling out with her daughter. You left.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that you didn't get your furniture. You didn't take it with you when you left, and they disposed of your furniture. So you want the value of your furniture.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you move in with Miss Kilmer and her daughter?
The end of August, beginning of September 2003.
And how long did you live with them?
About 4 to 5 months, maybe.
Is that right? How long did she live with you?
Until January. I don't remember if it was the beginning or the end.
It was the beginning.
So about 5 months. How were you supporting yourself?
I get Social Security.
How much do you get?
$756 a month.
Are you an emancipated minor?
No, my aunt just gave me my money because she was my legal guardian, and she's still filed at the Social Security office as my guardian.
Okay. Now, what kind of financial arrangement did you make with Miss Kilmer?
$200 a month for food, electricity, water,
everything like that.
For everything?
Everything.
Did you pay her every month?
Yes, I did.
Did you pay her in check or cash?
Cash.
And what did you do with the rest of the money?
I bought clothes, food, things I needed.
What happened in January?
In January, me and Margie were hanging out at a friend's house. His mother's ring came up missing. It was in the bathroom. We had all stopped in the house to use the bathroom, and we'd left. And then we had come back later on, and we were hanging out, and his mom came up to us and said, "My ring's gone." We all checked our stuff just in case it accidentally dropped in. I personally know I didn't have anything to do with that ring. I didn't touch it. I didn't even see it. And Margie was upset, and she was accusing me of taking it, trying to find out what happened. Because Ryan, that's the friend we were at, he called and told her that detectives would be coming over to our house. And she was really upset. She was like freaking out, banging things. I asked her what was wrong, and it escalated from there into a verbal confrontation. She called me some names. I called her some names. She threw a bottle of hair conditioner at me. I had a notebook in my hand. I threw it back at her. She walked up to me and slapped me. In self-defense, I grabbed her by her hair and hit her. Then her mom stood up and started yelling to stop. Her father stepped in between us. She kept trying to go around him. I stepped off to the side and away, and I said, "I didn't steal anything, that's a lie." Maybe I added some stuff to that, but that's the gist of it. And they said, "Leave." I went downstairs, I got my stuff, I called my friend Veronica, and I said, "Just come get me, I'll explain to you later."
And
she
this
came and got
was
me.
when in January?
The beginning. I had just given the Kilmers the rent for the month of January a few days before.
And when did you come back for your, because you had some furniture that was stored in the basement?
Yes.
What kind of furniture?
2 nightstands, headboard, brand new mattresses, bed frame, and a dresser and a mirror.
Where had that come from?
My money, I had saved it up, my Social Security, so I could have some nice things.
But your furniture had to be stored because you had furniture in your room?
Yes.
Okay, I'll hear you.
Well, there's been a long-going friendship with Joey and Margie. She needed a place to stay. Her aunt had kicked her out. Her cousin had kicked her out. She wasn't able to live with her mother, so we took her in, treated her like family, made arrangements for her to pay rent. She, in December, had given us $100, saying she was going to be gone for part of the month, and she couldn't give us all of it. In January, she had given, I think she had given my husband some money. We were going through some problems. I had lost my job. I had asked him to leave. When he had come back to get some furniture for where he's staying.
So 1 second. We're talking about the rent. She moved in August. Of 2003. Who did you give the money to?
Either one.
So when you say you think she may have given your husband some money, it's possible that she gave him the rent.
Sure.
Because that takes care of your counterclaim. You're counterclaiming for rent. If she gave your husband rent, she doesn't owe you any rent, right?
Well, but he said he didn't get any money.
Yeah, how do I know that? How do I know that? If you're going through difficult financial times, how do I know that he didn't get the money and spend it?
Probably
and
did.
another thing, Ms. Kilmer, if you didn't get any rent from her and that was your agreement, then why did you let her stay with you for 5 months?
She had nowhere else to go.
I don't know if I buy that, because if you were doing it out of the goodness of your heart, you wouldn't have charged her any rent.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen, you're not the mother of the year. You don't leave your 14-year-old daughter to fend for herself, and I don't care what kind of disagreement you have with her. We understand each other?
Yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 17-year-old Joey Kibble says her former friend's mother, Mary Kilmer, gave away her furniture. Mary claims when Joey moved out, she abandoned the property.
Okay, I'm dismissing your counterclaim because I don't believe that she didn't pay the $200 either to you or your husband. So let's move on with, where's her furniture?
My ex-husband has it, and I haven't had any contact with him.
Well, how did he get it?
Came to the house to get some furniture. Shortly after she moved out, it was in February, he had come to the house to get some of his things after I had him removed from the house.
You had him removed from the house by the police?
Yes.
And when he came back to get his things, did he come back with the police?
No.
He came back by himself?
With some friends.
And how did it end up that he went into the basement and took her furniture?
He needed something to sleep on. I had no idea how long it was going to be there. It was stored there. We had tried to get in touch with her.
Ma'am?
That's not true.
Just a minute. Okay. Listen, you're not the mother of the year. You don't leave your 14-year-old daughter to fend for herself just because she's got $700 a month to take care of herself. And I don't care what kind of disagreement you have with her at age 14. We understand each other?
Yeah.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, I had told Joey when she called to get her furniture and her belongings that Frank had her furniture, and I would
I'm talking about before you gave away her furniture to your ex-husband. I don't care whether he slept on the floor or whether he slept on nails. Why do I care what he slept on? You have no right to give away her furniture. That's outrageous. Do you have a bill for the furniture?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please.
I also have receipts for my mattresses. That's the mattress. These are the receipts.
You have furniture. The furniture she gave away, she had absolutely no right to give away any of your furniture. So, $561.72 with tax. Is that right?
Yes.
And you're talking about mattresses, which were another $630. So that's what you owe her. You can't give away somebody else's property without notice. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,191. I'm dismissing your counterclaim because I don't believe you when you say she didn't pay rent. I believe she paid rent. I also am going to award her the $200 for her January rent because I find that she did, in fact, pay you your January rent, whether she paid it to you or to your husband. That's $1,391 since you threw her out in January. She couldn't live there. $1,391 for the plaintiff. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We did what we could for 9 months of hell having her live with us.
I think this is all ridiculous and it could have been avoided.
The fighting with my daughter in the kitchen, the fist fight.
I was attacked and it was completely self-defense.
Certain things she said to me, the B word, the C word, the A word, you name it.
I think it's a big joke and I think she's a liar. We can sit here and call each other liars all day, but I know the truth and that's what matters.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Shore versus Moore, step forward.
Truck driver Donna Shore is suing her daughter's boyfriend, truck driver Jason Moore, for the cost of a waterbed and a cell phone bill. Jason says he owes nothing.
Mrs. Shore, the defendant is your daughter's boyfriend, and I assume from everybody's position that this is your daughter. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I assume that if this is your daughter, you and your daughter are not on good speaking terms.
Not right now, no.
And this is your?
My husband, her stepfather.
Okay. Boyfriend, according to you, owes you for the balance on a waterbed that you sold to them.
Yes, ma'am.
And also for a cell phone bill that he promised to pay.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Moore says that the waterbed is between you and your daughter. He had nothing to do with that arrangement. And he's got a sort of interesting defense for the cell phone bill, which I will get to when we get to him. Okay? Good. The defendant and your daughter lived with you for a period of time, I
Yes,
gather.
ma'am.
Is that right? When did they live with you?
From the beginning of October 2003 till the beginning of December 2003.
Why?
At the time, Jason was having trouble, you know, on his job. They were not giving him enough miles driving the truck so that he was making no money. My granddaughter was in St. Louis with her father.
Not their child together.
No.
Your daughter has a child with somebody else who was with her father.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And Jordan could not come home because of the apartment that they were living in. I was told that she had no bed. I was never physically in the apartment. But DCFS went and checked out the apartment.
Department of Children and Family Services.
Yes. And we're told that Jordan could not come home as long as they lived there. So we let them move in with us so that we could get Jordan home. We were hoping that, you know, they would turn their lives around, get everything straightened out.
How long had Jordan been living with her father?
She went down in July. She was supposed to come home between 2 weeks and a month after she went down there.
And did her father seek custody of her? Is that why there was an investigation by Department of Children and Family Services?
I'm not sure about that. I know there were other circumstances involved, which I don't know if I should mention or not.
Go ahead.
There were accusations made. They were eventually...
Unfounded.
Right, unfounded, yes.
Where is Jordan now?
She's with Jason and Tara, I assume.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. What happened in October of 2003 with regard to the telephone?
My husband and I did not have a home phone. We're over-the-road truck drivers. We had cell phones. When Tara and Jason came and moved in with us, he was going to work with us. He was going to be on the road, needed to keep in contact with Tara. Tara needed to be able to, you know, if Jordan got hurt, Jordan needed the doctor or something, to be able to get a hold of somebody.
Jordan came back to live with you at that
Yes,
point?
yes.
Go ahead.
So we went and got the phones. They said they didn't have the money.
So you put them on your account?
Yes, ma'am.
And they promised to pay the bill, I assume?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right, correct?
So kind of, yes. Yes, ma'am.
So you got them the phones?
Yes, ma'am. But the next day, he took it back and upgraded it because it wasn't fancy enough.
Is that right, sir?
Both phones were upgraded the next day, yes.
Why did you do that?
Because the phones they give you with the plan were very cheaply made, so it would not have been worth it. Why not pay the extra $30 and get a better phone with better warranty?
So you paid the $30?
I did, yes.
Okay, fine. So you didn't have money for phones, but you had money to upgrade the
Yes,
phones?
I did have money for phones.
Well, then why did you have her put the phones
I
in her
didn't
account?
want to get the phone in her name. I'd already borrowed the money from my boss, and she knew of that. She thought it'd be better for me to save my money and get, instead of me getting one phone for myself, to get a phone for her daughter, too. So they came
And you said okay?
Yeah, they came to me with this plan,
Okay,
yes.
so you said okay, with the understanding that you would pay for the service.
I was going to pay half the service, yes.
And the daughter was going to pay half
Yes.
the service. Was she working at the time?
At the time, yes, when we got the phones.
Now, at some point, you stopped paying for the phone. Is that right?
When I got the second bill, yes.
Why?
Because by the time we got the first bill, she had done quit her job, and she knew we was financially tight. So I paid the first bill, and when I got the second bill, I told her I couldn't pay that. It's just too much. And she had agreed to have the phone service canceled, and I'd pay the disconnect fee for each phone.
So did you pay the bill?
She would never show me a bill.
Well, now we'll show you the bill. Can I see the bill, please?
Yes, ma'am.
The bills never came to my name.
No, I'm going to
and
show.
she would hide them from
Just
us.
a second. Oh no. Just a second. She's not hiding, sir.
Oh,
she
you
doesn't
don't
want to
even
hide
know.
them. Let me just see the bills. You say you didn't pay the bills because you didn't get the bills.
I had the bills. What the bill was due, it came on my cell phone. At the time the phone shut off, the bill was $213.74.
Okay, well.
The bill was due in December, 12/11 of '03.
No, on December 19th, sir, it was $449.03.
Well, that's not what the phone says.
Well,
that came
take a
from
look, sir.
Verizon. Okay. I'd never seen this. She'd never
Well, now,
show us bills.
I want you to see it. No, no, give it back to him, please.
No, I've seen it. I believe you.
Give it back to him.
I'll look at it.
There you go. Enjoy.
And did you use these phones after January?
No, they were turned off.
Stand up. You are both testifying that in the month of January, you did not use these phones.
The phones were shut off at the beginning of January.
So that this last bill, can I see that, please? This last bill dated
Would probably be the remainder of December and January.
December 19th. Now, then you would have the bill from December 19th to January.
Yes, probably so.
Okay. Do you have the bill for January?
No, I do not have it.
Why not?
I don't know why I don't have that
Well,
one.
I can't help you with that because the last bill then that I would find that they're responsible for is the one dated December 19th for $449. Now, if he says that the phones were shut off at the beginning of January, added on to that would be monthly access of $169 and additional services, et cetera, $679. Now, let's talk about this water bid. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. The water bed, we were moving to a new place, and I went out and bought new beds for the child because she came first. You know, she's a child.
Jordan.
Yes, she needed a new bed, so I bought new beds because I have children of my own, so I bought new beds for the kids. And then we were going to be without a bed.
What kids?
I have kids from a previous marriage that I get every other weekend.
Okay, so you bought beds for all the children?
All the children, yes, not favoring anybody. Everybody got beds. So we were going to be without a bed. So Tara came to me and said something about a water bed. I said, I don't really want a water bed. She goes, well, Mom said she'd sell us this water bed. I was like, I really don't want it. She goes, well, I'll pay for it.
Tara.
Yes.
Tell me about the water bed. You had the discussion with your mother.
I had actually asked my stepfather what he would charge me to buy the bed from him. He said $150. And yes, I had a job at the time, and I agreed to pay that, and then I lost my job. So we haven't been able to pay it back.
I had paid
Yes,
the first
he had
payment.
paid $50 on it.
Because they were asking about it. I was like, well, you know, she's not working, but, you know, out of the goodness of my heart, I figured I would, you know, at least make an effort to pay him back, which was not my liability.
Did you sleep on the bed?
Yeah, we slept on it.
You still have the bed?
We still have the bed. We don't use it, though.
Why not?
The first day we get it home and set it up, there's leaks all over it, so we had to fix it.
So what do you use to sleep on?
Right now we're sleeping on a hide couch.
And where is the water bed?
We disassembled it, and it's just sitting there collecting dust.
So you're not using it?
No, ma'am.
Give it back to them, and they'll give you 50 bucks.
Fine. If that's what they wanted, they could have
Perfect. And he paid you 50 bucks for it?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to take the 50 bucks off the $679 that they owe you, leaving $629, and you can go pick up the water bed. Is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $629. Thank you.
Yeah, this is case number 71 on the calendar in the matter of Evans, Holtman versus Bergman. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Corey.
Yes.
It is your claim that this lady stole 4 puppies from you, 4 bull mastiff puppies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Those are puppies that grow up to be really big dogs, if my memory is correct. Is that right?
Yes.
How much do the dogs weigh when they're full grown?
My male's about 160 to 170 pounds.
Do you have a picture of him?
I do when he was a puppy.
Mrs. Bergman said she did not steal the puppies at all. You owed her the puppies because last year she bought 4 puppies from you and they died. So you owed her these dogs and she merely came and took them. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. How long have you been breeding bull mastiffs?
3 years.
Just my own curiosity, you bought 4 puppies from him last year?
Correct.
Is that correct?
I don't know, actually.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't recognize this lady at all.
Do you recognize her?
Well, I was the one that was there when she stole them, so.
Did you have a litter of puppies last year?
Yeah, I have one every year.
But you don't recognize her from last year?
No. I've sold a lot of puppies. I've sold over 50 puppies to different people.
Okay. Don't you remember somebody buying 4 puppies at one time?
Yeah. I
Yes.
don't remember her. Sorry. Yes.
But you remember somebody last year buying 4 puppies at one time?
Yes.
And it could have been her.
Yes.
What did you buy 4 puppies last year for?
Okay, well, I went over there, Your Honor, to buy 1 puppy.
Last year?
Last year. And he said, well, I have an ad here. They were $400 a piece in this ad. This is the ad I bought them out of. They were $400 a piece at the time. I went over to his house to buy 1 puppy. He said, I will let you have 4 for $600. So I said, okay. So I wrote him a check, this check, for $600.
Let me see it, please. Well, clearly, Corey, she wrote a check out to you, which you cashed for $600 on July 11th, 2003.
Possible.
No, I'm telling you, you did.
Okay.
That refresh your recollection?
No, it doesn't, but...
Okay. So you took 4 puppies for $600. What was your intention to do with the 4 puppies?
Well, because we had the 4 puppies, I was going to give 1 to my sister and keep the other 3 for our family because we have a ranch. We live on a big ranch as guard dogs.
Who changed the number of dogs here on the check?
When I was writing the check, Your Honor.
Yes.
At first, he was going to sell me 3, and then I was going to get 4 because we were negotiating the price.
Now, what happened to the puppies last year when you got them home?
Well, as soon as I got home, they weren't eating, and they started having diarrhea. So the very next day, I called his mother because he didn't have the puppies. His mother had the puppies. And I said, I'm bringing these puppies back, and I want my check back. And so I took the puppies over to where I got them and demanded my check back. And he had cashed my check and would not give me my money back. And I said,
This was just a second. This was the next day?
Yes.
No, that's not true. That's not true. He did not cash the check the same day. He did not cash the check for 3 days.
Okay. Well, he told me he cashed the check the next
I don't care
day.
what he told you, madam. All you had to do was call the bank, and the bank would have said the check has not been cashed.
Well, I did not do that.
Well, that's unfortunate for you.
Well, he told me that. Anyway, I didn't check the bank. And he agreed. I asked him, he said he would not replace the puppies. I asked his mother, I told his mother what he'd said, and I argued with her, and she said, go make him be responsible. And
don't tell me what his mother said. Just tell me what you did. His mother's not here. That's hearsay.
Then then I went to him and I said, look, I'm not going to argue with you.
Did you take the puppies back?
Yes, I did, but they would not take them back.
Just a second. You took the puppies back to your house. After you went to his house, his mother's house, you took the puppies back to your house.
Because she begged me.
Don't tell me what she begged you. That's hearsay. You took the puppies back to your house.
That's correct.
That was on the 12th of July.
Yes.
The next day.
Yes.
All right. And after they were back in your house, what happened?
Well, we tried to give them rice and hamburger, and then I took them to the vet a couple of days later. 2 had already died.
What day did you take the puppies to the vet?
You have the checks, and you have the... It was a couple of days later I took the puppies to the vet.
On the 15th?
Yes.
Do you have a statement from the vet as to what was done?
No, I did not.
Why not? They gave you one.
I had it in a packet, and I didn't bring it.
Well, why didn't you bring it?
I don't know why.
I don't know why you didn't bring it.
I thought that that check actually would be okay.
Well, that's ridiculous, madam. You were coming to court. You're supposed to bring proof. Part of your lawsuit, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for vet bills.
That's right.
Which means that I have to see the bill from the vet. And that you didn't bring with you? Did you bring your lipstick? Did you bring your mascara? That was important. You bring the vet bills if you're suing for vet bills.
Yes, ma'am.
Not the check.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't want to have to give you the business in front of your children, but I don't want you to make things up as you go along, Miss Bergman. You're fabricating, and I don't want you to fabricate, especially in front of your children. Certainly not to me.
And later today,
you left. What about all the furniture in the apartment?
I left everything there because he threatened to take my son, our son.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dog breeders Corey Evans and Justin Holtman claim Jeanette Bergman stole 4 bull mastiff puppies.
So the puppies died. What did you do next?
So I called Corey and I said, look, these puppies died and I want you to be responsible for these puppies. And he said, oh, I said, I want you to replace these puppies. And he said, okay, when I have another litter, you'll know. I says, okay. He says, just check the paper. I will have an ad in the paper. Then you could get your 4 puppies.
Now, what did you do when you saw the ad for the bull mastiff puppies this year? What did you do?
I called the ad and I said, is this Corey? He said, no, this is Corey's friend. I'm selling these puppies for him.
Justin.
That's correct.
And what did you say?
So I called him up and I said, give me directions because it's been a year and I had forgotten where Corey had lived.
Is that what she said to you?
No.
No, it's not what she said to you at all.
I didn't.
You know, I want to tell you something. Are these your children?
Yes, they are.
I don't want to have to give you the business in front of your children, but I don't want you to make things up as you go along, Miss Bergman. You may feel as if you have a legitimate case, but what you're doing is you're fabricating, and I don't want you to fabricate, especially in front of your children. Certainly not to me. Keep going. So?
I went over to Corey's house after he gave me directions. And I went over there and I said, I'm going to take 4 of these puppies.
You went over there. How did he get over there?
Well, I called him when I got to the house.
What did she say to you? Take your hands out of your pockets.
Basically, or she said...
look at me. Don't look down. Look.
Said she was coming to look at the puppies because she wanted to buy some of them.
Now, she called you when she got there. What did you say to her when she called you?
I was actually over at the courthouse paying some tickets. I told her it would probably take me about 45 minutes to get there. And I, in the first place, never told her to come over there. She showed up. I gave her directions. She wasn't supposed to show up till he got off work.
So when you got there, when you got to the house, what did you do? Just tell me step by step. You pulled up to the house. You had been to the house before. What did you do?
I told him that I was here to get 4 puppies that Corey owed me. And he handed them to me over the fence, and I put them in my van. And I said, tell him to tell Corey, thank you very much. I won't ask him to pay my vet bill.
Now, Justin, I'd like you to tell me your version of what happened when you arrived from the courthouse from paying tickets and found Miss Bergman at Corey's house.
She asked if they were pure. What else? She asked a few questions about the puppies. Yeah, I think then I took her around back and she started picking the 4 puppies out she wanted. There was 6 there at the time. And
she said she wanted 4?
Yeah.
Did she tell you why she wanted 4?
No, I didn't ask her. She didn't say.
Okay, and then what happened?
We loaded them all up. She shut the back of her van. She went around to the driver's side of her van, sat in there, and started messing with her purse like she was going to write a check or pull some cash out or something.
No.
She asked for a pin. I turned around, started walking, and probably got 2 or 3 steps away. I heard her messing with her power locks, heard the power locks clicking, and she shuts the door and drives off and screams something when she's driving off.
Okay, now can I see the ad for the puppies, please?
Yes.
Where are the puppies now, Miss Bergman?
They're in my yard.
What was the date that you took the puppies?
It was the...
What was the date you took the puppies?
April 1st. I thought it was a sick joke when he called me at work.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
you've had a marriage, a divorce, a rekindling, another baby, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you say, well, I'm going to give you an engagement ring. Doesn't work that way, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dog breeders Corey Evans and Justin Holtman claim Jeanette Bergman stole 4 Bull Mastiff puppies.
All right, so I have to make a judgment as to whose story sounds more logical and what story that I'm hearing sounds like a fantasy. And quite frankly, Miss Bergman, your story sounds like a fantasy to me. You did, in fact, read the paper, and you did, in fact, see that somebody was selling Bull Mastiffs. You called and you said, is Corey selling them? And Justin said, no, I'm selling them for Corey. You got the address, so you knew it was the same place. And you resorted to self-help, which means you went over there and you tricked him. Because there's no way in the world that this young man would say, oh, you say that he owes you 4 puppies? Here are 4 puppies. Put them in your car. Goodbye. No way he's going to do that. So you went there and you said, I'm here to buy 4 puppies. I want that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. I put them in my truck. You asked him for a pen. You locked the doors. You shouted, now I got what I wanted. And you probably got an extra couple of puppies for your aggravation and maybe for your vet bill. Because I'm not so sure that you brought 4 home last year. Anyway, the puppies were for sale for $500 a piece. By your own acknowledgement, you took 4 puppies. That's $2,000. That's what he's going to get, and your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They must have got sick while she had them, because they weren't sick when I had them.
Corey knows he owed me 4 puppies and chose not to give them to me because he's the kind of person that he is.
She's a little nutty. That's basically the whole deal there. I mean,
that's okay, because we're Christians and we know what's right.
I've never had anybody bring a puppy back to me.
I had the check that he cashed stating that he really did know me. He cashed my check.
Judge realized she's crazy and stole stuff from me and gave me my money.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of De La Vega versus De La Vega, step forward, please.
State worker Anna De La Vega is suing her ex-husband, mailman Patrick De La Vega, for the return of a dresser and a ring. Patrick says the dresser was a gift and the ring was for their engagement.
Mrs. De La Vega, is this your son?
Yes, he is.
How old is he?
17.
Your son's name is?
Randall.
Does Randall have a relationship with his father?
No, he does not.
So he is not his father?
He is not his father.
Okay, fine. Good. I just wanted to make sure, because I usually don't like children in here, to hear it if parents are squabbling. You and Mr. De La Vega were married and then divorced, and several years later got back together again, according to your complaint, and decided to try your relationship out again, and he moved into your home. That didn't work out, and it is your claim that he took from you when he moved out some furniture that belonged to you that he refuses to return, as well as a ring that he had purchased for you as a gift. Mr. De La Vega says that the furniture that he took was furniture that you left in the apartment, just a dresser, and that the ring was an engagement ring, and therefore it was his, and he took it. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When were you divorced?
1986, September.
And when did you get back together again?
September 25th, 1998, he showed up on my doorstep with his clothes.
Okay, and you hadn't seen him in all that time?
We had been talking since December of 1997.
And when did you separate?
March 17th, 2003.
Tell me about this piece of furniture. What is it?
It was a chest of drawers, cherry wood, that I bought on sale at Montgomery Ward's. And
when did you buy it?
In 2000.
Okay, and how much did you pay for it?
I'm estimating the value of $300 because I don't actually have the receipt. I couldn't find the receipt.
Did he leave or did you leave?
I left because we had been to counseling in 2002 and it had broken down.
So March 2003
and
you
I
left.
had asked him to leave and he would not.
So you left. What about all the furniture in the apartment?
I left everything there because he threatened to take my son, our son.
Okay, so you left everything there and you never retrieved it?
I came back, yes, a couple of days later with a moving van.
Okay, because I thought you were taking all the stuff. So you came back with a moving van. Was he home?
Yes, he was, actually.
And you took all the furniture. Tell me what furniture you took.
I took major pieces of furniture.
And the only thing that you left that you now say you want is the chest of drawers. Now tell me about this ring.
My ex-husband was never really good at buying me gifts for Christmas, for birthdays. It was extremely rare that he would even remember to buy me a card. So in July of 2001, he was trying to make it up to me. So he asked me what I wanted. I said, I want a nice ring. So we went looking. He said, okay, you pick out whatever you want, and I'll pay for it.
You have it?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
And I didn't initially know that the ring was gone. He told me by
Just a second. Well, I didn't ask you any questions. July of 2001. And tell me, what did you buy this ring with him, or did he surprise you with it?
No, we went together shopping because he wanted me to pick out whatever it was that I wanted.
Okay, now in July of 2001, is that a birthday? Is that
my birthday is in July 7th, and the ring was purchased July 8th. And I do have
the receipt.
I have the receipt.
I'd like to see it. Well, it was certainly purchased around her birthday, sir, right?
Fine, yes.
Good. Now, Mr. De La Vega, when for the first time between July 2001 and March of 2003 did you start to plan a wedding?
We didn't. We just talked about it. We mentioned it and stuff like that. In fact, we were looking for a home.
Okay. What else did you buy for her between July of 2001 and March of 2003?
Oh, nothing. You know, gifts and stuff like that. You know.
Well, that's what I'm asking. You said gift, but
yeah,
what did you buy her?
I gave her money and paid for stuff. I can't remember what I bought her, but...
Nothing.
Give her ring back. Mr. De La Vega, let me explain something to you, sir. An engagement ring is not given, in my judgment, Mr. De La Vega, when you've had a smorgasbord of emotions. You've had a marriage, a divorce, a rekindling, another baby, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You've had a birthday, you've had an anniversary, and then you say, well, I'm going to give you an engagement ring. After I've known you for 25 years.
No,
do you understand, Mr. De La Vega?
Yes, well, we're divorced.
It doesn't work that way, sir. It doesn't work that way. You bought the ring, and if it's the only thing that you can remember having bought for your former wife in 25 years, consider it, sir, a very small token. Now, Mrs. De La Vega, I'm going to get to the rest of your complaint. The rest of your complaint is for an old 4-year-old dresser that you haven't had in your possession for over a year, that you left in the apartment that you shared with him.
Yes.
Thank
Forget it.
you.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Forget it. You got the ring? Be a happy girl.
I'm happy.
Good. He says goodbye. I say goodbye. Be well.
Bless.
Enjoy. God bless.
Parties are excused. This is case number 135 on the calendar in the matter of Davidson versus Tatum. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Ms. Davidson, you were a guest at the defendant's club. And according to your complaint, a fight broke out. Some sort of a scuffle broke out, and everybody started to run towards the exits. You tripped over a piece of carpeting or rug, and you were injured. You want the defendant to pay for your injuries as well as your pain and suffering. And Mr. Tatum says you fell. It was your fault. Pretty much.
Yes, Your Honor. I have a...
Okay. Good. Tell me when this happened.
It happened April 31st.
Impossible.
On May 1st, 2004.
What kind of club is it?
It's a sports bar, restaurant, dance bar, too.
Have you ever been to the club before?
Yes.
How many times?
I'd say give or take about 5 times.
All right, tell me what happened.
Well, me and my cousin got there about 12:30.
Is this your cousin?
My cousin's boyfriend was throwing this party where you had to pay $7 to get in, and all the drinks were supposed to be free. So we got in, paid our $7, we went to the bar where they was giving out the free stuff, and then we sat down and just started talking. And all of a sudden, a big bunch of people was in this section, and then just several fights. Just one fight broke out, and then it seemed like several fights just broke out, and everybody just started running. And when everybody started running, my cousin said, "Come on, Shanika, come on." So I started running. Then I tripped over the rug and fell forward, and my ankle just went down and like clamped. And my cousin covered me. I hit the wall, and so my cousin covered my body because she thought I was going to get trampled by all the people running out. And when the crowd cleared out, that's when me and her came out, and we got in our car and left and went home.
Do you have a medical record?
I went to the hospital about 12 that afternoon.
How many people were in the club?
I'd say about 70 to 80.
Was your ankle put in a cast?
Yes, I had a ankle brace.
For how long?
2 weeks.
Okay. Did you have any out-of-pocket expenses?
I have to wait until Medicaid informs me on how much I have to pay. They do not pay for the emergency room doctors.
Okay. Tell me about this rug that you tripped over.
Well, the rug is in front of the door, the exit door, and I don't know if it was wet or whatever, and I slid up, and
Is it a carpet that's down, that's tacked down, or is it a runner?
Carpet.
It's a carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Was it raised in any way?
It was torn, and he had some covering on top of it.
Go ahead, Mr. Tatum.
Your Honor, I'm definitely in disagreement with her entire testimony.
Well, you're not suggesting that Miss Davidson is lying and making up a story that she fell at your sports club.
I'm really not sure of that because I was never informed, period, of whether she was failed or any of my staff members, whether she ever contacted any of those on the night in question. So there's no evidence other than her testimony that she did.
Okay. And her cousins, who's going to stand up right now. Tell me your name.
My name is David Talley.
You were with your cousin, Miss Davidson, on the night, and I assume that the night is the 30th of April because the emergency room visit was the next day on the 1st of May. You went there for a function?
Yes, ma'am.
What time did these fights break out in the club?
It was around 2, because by the time we got home, it was maybe about 2:30, so it was around about 2 because we waited on everything to clear out before we actually left out the club.
When you say you waited until everything cleared out, explain that to me.
Because everybody was running. Once they started fighting, everybody just started running. And when she fell, like I said, I covered her body, and when I covered her body just to make sure that she wouldn't get trampled on, we were right by the exit door because the door sticks out. He has like a wooden part that sticks out, and you can open the door that goes out. And on the side, it's just where the wall is. We stayed right there in that corner till everybody ran out, and then I walked her out the door.
Okay. Now, Mr. Tatum, were you in the club the night of the 30th of April?
That particular incident, I was there.
Look, Mr. Tatum, I want you to look over there.
Yeah.
Don't look down there. I want you to look right over here, sir.
I was thinking. No.
But
I was there. I was there when that altercation broke out, that particular altercation. I was actually on the side of that particular night, yes, I was.
What did you see?
I was on stage announcing that we were about to have the contest, that we were giving away $200 to the sexiest lady in the club. And we had announced it on that song, and prior to getting to that song, there was altercation broke out on the dance floor. And I immediately left the stage and went over and proceeded to help break up the altercation myself. So there was no altercation in the back. It was on the dance floor because I was there. There was one mirror broken at that particular incident. And
are you telling me, Mr. Tatum, that nobody ran out of the club?
At that particular time, I was at front. I couldn't see who went out the back. I could not see. My security guard was at the back. He may be able to give you a more clear view of that.
Tell me your last name, sir.
Tate.
Mr. Tate, how many people ran out of the club that evening?
It was several run out.
Would you say several is more than 5 or less than 5?
More than 5.
More than 10 or less than 10?
More than 10.
Right. And when they ran out of the club, they ran out of the club. Why, Mr. Tate? Because they got nervous because there was a fight?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see the pictures, Mr. Tatum, of the carpet that you are going to show
as well, Your Honor.
Of what?
Of the club and the carpet in question.
When did you take a videotape of that carpeting?
I took that as soon as I was contacted about the suit, and I had done nothing to the carpet or to the club prior to that point. And I have
I'm
some
not so
pictures
sure.
here.
I'm not so sure, sir, but let me see the pictures. I don't have to see the videotape. The videotape was prepared after you were notified that you were going to get sued.
I didn't take up the carpet, Your Honor, or neither did I put anything down. Carpet is in excellent condition.
All I want you to show me, Miss Davidson, is there anywhere here which depicts the entranceway to the club where you fell?
Right here. That's the exit.
Is that where you fell?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Byrd, let me take a quick look at that, would you please?
Where this door is.
Where this door is. Well, I can't see the carpet.
Where that bar stool goes down, right before he had it fixed, it was split right there, but where the carpets meet on both sides, where if you can tell the rail that goes down the middle, it used to be bulged. It had a rubber mat that used to be there. He's removed that and smoothed it out and put the carpet there because I went last week, and it's been smoothed out, and it's not there anymore because I've almost tripped over it a time before when I've went.
That's not true, Your Honor. I've never done anything to that carpet. That carpet is one continuous piece. It's been put together with carpet tape. It's just one continuous carpet. I do everything I possibly can to make my establishment safe.
I'm sure you
no
do.
guns in there.
Mr. Tatum, I'm sure you do. I have to make a judgment as to who I believe. She says she went back there and you had changed the contour of the carpet. And she describes exactly how you changed the contour of the carpet, Mr. Tatum. Now, I have some questions for Mr. Tate. Mr. Tate, there were between 80 and 100 people there that evening?
Yes, ma'am.
How many in security do you have?
It's 5 of us.
Okay, were all 5 people there that evening?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you do?
I make sure no one comes in that door. Everybody go out that door that she's talking about she fell at, and I make sure no one comes in. And if any altercations comes up, I help with those.
Well, what does that mean, Mr. Tate? That you make sure that everybody goes in and out of that door that she goes out of?
If they go out that door, they cannot come back in that one. They enter the door with the security warrant to check for any weapons, anything.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to add that when the fight broke out, the security wasn't trying to break up the fight. He just opened the door to make people run out. Sometimes I've even caught him running from a fight, Mr. Tatum.
That's a bold-faced lie right there, Your Honor.
Did you notice, Mr. Tatum,
That's
Mr.
it.
Tatum, do you have insurance?
Yes, I do.
When you were notified by Miss Davidson that she fell, did you notify your insurance company?
Not right off, Your Honor. I don't believe it. I think she's lying. Like she's lying right there about me running from a fight. I don't need to run. I work out. I'm very well capable of taking care of myself.
Mr. Davidson,
And we know they don't have guns, they don't have knives.
I asked you a question.
So is this
What doesn't have guns and what doesn't have knives? He says he checks for guns and knives. So I assume that if you're checking for guns and knives, there's been a history of people trying to bring guns and knives into the club. I mean, that's
in other clubs, Your Honor, not in my club.
Mr. Tatum, your own employee says his function is to ensure when people come into the club that they do not bring in guns and knives. That's what he's searching for, correct?
Correct.
You're not searching their pocketbooks for turkeys, chickens, hens. You're not searching for that, are you?
No, ma'am.
No. You're searching for guns and knives. And the reason you're searching for guns and knives is because sometimes people try to bring in those weapons into a club. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Mr. Tatum.
I mean,
I don't want you to think that I'm stupid, sir. I'm not a stupid person.
I wouldn't dare.
That's why he's there. That's why he's there. He's there because there's been a history of people trying to bring guns and knives into the club. And he's there to ensure, hopefully, that that doesn't happen.
Right.
That's what he's there for. So
It's
don't
true.
say there are no guns and knives in the club.
We check for that, and because there are other clubs there. I'm not the only other club there. I did my research. They have had shootings in other clubs. I've been there for 4 years. We've never had one in my club or not.
Good. Why?
Because he just now letting younger people inside of his club.
I don't care what the reason is. That's a wonderful thing. But on this night, something happened, Mr. Tatum. On this night, your security didn't work.
Security worked fine.
No, it did not.
I was a part of the breakup.
Mr. Tatum, on this night, your security was not effective in ensuring that fights didn't break up in the club, and as a result of that, there was a stampede to the door. That is according to your own employee, who wouldn't dare think of lying to me, right?
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
I really couldn't deal with the relationship and school and work. You know, we decided to separate at that point.
We did not decide that we were going to separate. She dumped me.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shanika Davidson says nightclub owner Charles Tatum owes for medical bills resulting from an accident in his club. Shanika says she tripped while fleeing from a brawl.
You were incapacitated for approximately 2 weeks?
Yes, Your Honor.
And were you able to work during those 2 weeks?
No, Your Honor. They had to find other people.
Okay. How much do you earn a day?
$125 a week.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I'd like to contend that this is something that's been started prior to my establishment starting, because we provide security, we provide electronic security. There's a club right down the street from my establishment that's been in business for 15 years. They don't provide no security. They don't even check. These people come to my establishment and react the same exact way that they go down to this other establishment, and because they don't have any security. They don't have a check for weapons. We do. There's no reason for not one person to leave. We have several security guards. I was in there. I broke up that fight. I was there when the mirror fell off the wall. The people run because that's what they do normally at the other club, because they don't know. They don't know where they have guns. They don't realize that they're in an establishment that can provide security. If they're running out of security.
Mr. Tatum.
Yes, ma'am.
Your argument is foolish, sir.
And there's no tear in that car.
And I don't believe that, sir. I believe this lady when she says that there was a tear in the carpeting, that it was smoothed over when she went. It was different when she went back to the club last week, different from the way it was on the night of April 30th. And I believe that there was some alteration. I don't believe you, Mr. Tatum, that you didn't fix the tear. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500, which is 10 times your actual damages, which were 125 times 2, which is $250 for the 2 weeks that you were out of work. I've made that times 10. That means 10 times your actual damages, $2,500. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Mr. Tatum has a really bad attitude, and I did not want to discuss my injuries because I knew he wouldn't be a reasonable person, because he is not a reasonable person.
She lied. She was a liar.
And it was 2 or 3 fights, because my cousin was the one who was fighting some of them.
I think she's lied. This is simple. You know, if she'd done that, she'd done it on her own. It was no negligence on my part or my people's part.
If he has adequate security, I've only seen 2 security guards there. One that checks you when you come in, and him waiting at the door to let you out when you go out.
We just need to keep, people need to go to church and learn to tell the truth.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ramsey versus Chapman. Step forward, please.
24-year-old student Christopher Ramsey is suing his ex-fiancée, 21-year-old student Antoinette Chapman, for her tuition and the cost of living expenses. Christopher says Antoinette used him.
Mr. Ramsey, Miss Chapman was your girlfriend, and you lived together for a while, according to your complaint. It is your claim that she owes you money for support. She agreed to support you for your final year in college.
Yes.
Okay. When did you and Miss Chapman start to live together?
May 2003.
And how long had you dated before that?
About 3 years before that.
Were you both juniors in college at the time when you moved in May of 2003?
I was a junior and she was a senior.
Tell me about your agreement, Mr. Ramsey, and why you made the agreement.
We decided that I would sit out of school for 2 semesters, and I would work 2 jobs, which I did. I worked approximately about 75 hours a week to support her while she went through school.
While she completed her senior year?
Yes.
Was that because you both ran out of money, or there wasn't enough money for both of you to go to school?
It was just an easier situation if one of us worked and one of us went to school, and it was fine because we planned on getting married.
Prior to May of 2003, had Miss Chapman been employed?
Yes, she was working at the Holiday Inn.
As what?
She did housekeeping there.
And after you made this agreement with her, did she continue to work?
Yes, she did.
Who was paying your tuition?
I had some financial aid, and any other expenses came out of whatever money we had in the household.
So what happened, Miss Chapman?
I was working still, and between school and work, it got really stressful, and I really couldn't deal with the relationship and school and work, and, we decided to separate at that point.
Okay, and?
I felt that the agreement was for as long as we were together, and since we broke up, the agreement wasn't valid anymore.
Did you graduate?
Yes.
Well, so this is an interesting situation, isn't it?
It's a very interesting situation, and we did not decide that we were going to separate. She dumped me. That's the bottom line.
You have an obligation to support him in his last year of college while he's going to school. You can't say, well, I don't love you anymore, honey. You took care of me, and I finished the school, and here's my diploma. But now I don't love you anymore, and I have no responsibility. That is inequitable, it's unfair, it's unjust enrichment. You have an agreement. He fulfilled his obligation to his detriment by not going to school for that year, and you got to pay him. Minimally, you have to pay him. The maximum allowed by this court is $5,000, and minimally 10 months at $500 a month, which is minimally what he will need to subsist, is, I believe, a fair judgment. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Yeah, this is case number 42 on the calendar in the matter of Sharia versus Hapka. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mrs. Sharia, this is your son.
Yes.
And your claim is that you co-signed a loan for him for an automobile several years ago. He made payments regularly for a long time. Then he stopped making the payments.
Right.
And you have been forced to make, I believe, the last 8 payments on the car in order for the credit company not to cause a default on the loan. And since he's not making the payments, you want him to give you the car so that you can sell it and perhaps recoup some of the loss since he's not making the payments. Your son says this is not about the car because he has been making regular payments on the car for the last 8 months, even after you kicked him out of your house. He says that it's all about control, that since you can't control his life and you don't like his friends, you want to take his car away because that's the only thing he's got. That's your defense?
That's right.
Okay. How old are you, Joe?
20.
Do you have siblings?
I have a brother.
How old is your brother?
23.
Okay. Do you see him regularly?
Yeah.
Yes. Try yes.
Yes.
And what about your mom? Does he see your mom?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so they're close. So there's 2 boys. 2 boys.
Yes.
She's close to the older son. And according to what I read in her complaint and your answer, she was pretty good to you also.
Yes.
You needed a car several years ago. You were 18.
Yeah. Yes.
Where's your father?
My father, he lives somewhere in Cheektowaga in Newark. I don't really talk to him. I didn't really have a relationship with him.
Did you, look at me, Joe, did your mother always work when you were little?
Yes.
And who do you think supported you and your brother?
She did.
Okay. First of all, it goes without saying that you and your mom had an agreement that she would co-sign for this car, but you would make the monthly payments. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you did, according to your mom, make them for a very long time. When did he stop making payments on the car?
In September of 03.
And is that when you started to make the payments?
Yes.
Do you have proof that you made those payments?
Oh, yes.
May I see them, please? Now, before September of 2003, who would make the payments?
Joe would. Joe would give me the money or his paycheck, and he used to give me $40 a week to cover the payments. And then all of a sudden, he started saying, well, I want to just give them to you at the end of the month or the beginning of the month when it was due. Then it came to the point where he changed. He was going to school. That's why I co-signed for the loan. He was working 2 jobs. I have a big lot. He was mowing all the lawn. He was taking care of his chores, his room, and everything. Then he gets transferred over to a different pizza place, then meets up with some kids, and all of a sudden, he stayed out until 5 o'clock in the morning. He didn't tell me. He told me he doesn't have to tell me where he was. He quit school, stopped going little by little till he quit school.
What school was he going to?
He was going for electronics. I told him that if he went for electronics, that I would help him start a business in it. And He was doing everything right. All of a sudden, he was trashing his room. There was food, there was clothes, there was breaking the ceiling, the wall, you know. And I went downstairs. I opened up a book that was down there. I found some marijuana in there. He told me that it was his friends. He was just holding it for him. I used to give picnic parties, and he used to be the kind of kid, he was such a good kid that he used to hold a beer in front of him while everyone else was drinking, and by the end of the party, I would dump it out because he never really liked it.
Okay. September of 2003, is that when he stopped making all the payments?
Yes, he didn't give me a payment at all that month. And that is when I kicked him out. The reason I kicked him out is for tough love.
Joe, look at me, Joe.
Okay.
So your mom, who took care of you and your brother, because I gather your father wasn't much of a participant, who wanted to help you secure your future, are you telling me that your mother is lying to me in court when she says that you stopped making payments to her on the car?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, she was right. I was giving her payments to $4 a week for the longest time, and once I didn't really quit school. I got thrown out of school. I missed too many days.
Why
like
did you
10
miss
days in 1 year.
Why did you miss so many days, Joe? Look at me. Don't look down.
I was working 2 jobs. It was just hard to get there sometimes.
So tell me about these new friends that you had that your mom didn't approve of.
I don't even know what that's really about, new friends.
Tell me about the marijuana she found in the house.
That wasn't mine.
Whose was it? Look at me. Don't look down. Look at me. Whose was it?
It was a friend of mine's.
What were you doing with it?
He asked me to hold it so his mom wouldn't find it, and she found it.
Well, that's not a friend. A friend doesn't ask you to do something wrong so that his mom wouldn't find it and place you in a situation where your mother found it. That's not a friend. And that's not somebody who's very smart that'll do that. Joe.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm 20 years old. I still have to live perfectly to her rules. I can't do anything. I can't see anybody.
Joe, listen to me.
Yeah.
If you live in her house, she owns the air you breathe.
And later today,
she said that she would agree to talk to me, and then she started insulting me. And I said, I'm coming for my stuff right now. She said no, I could not have my stuff.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paula Sharia says her son, Joe Hapka, needs to get his life together. She is suing for the return of a car and car payments.
Did you give her money last week?
No.
Did you give her money 4 weeks ago?
No.
So it's been some time since you gave her money. If you had to rent a car, you'd pay for it, right?
Well, I didn't trust her to give her the money because she's saying that, because I don't have my own book to send the payments in. She had her own book from the bank that she kept. That's why I gave her the money. She mailed in the payments. I kept doing that until I got a subpoena that I haven't been paying for.
So what you're telling me is you are prepared right now, if she gave you the book, listen to me, if she gave you the book, you're prepared to resume payments on the car. Is that right?
Yeah.
Can I see the book, please?
Sure.
Good.
Your Honor, he hasn't paid insurance since at least March. I got a paper stating that because he didn't pay insurance, his license is suspended. He's still driving, and this has been since March at least. He was in a car accident in March.
Is that right, Joe?
And they're suing him.
Since I got a letter saying that my license was suspended, that I haven't drove it since then. It's been parked at my brother's house.
Well, so you're telling me that you are going to make these payments even though you can't drive the car?
Well, it's just until I didn't have money for insurance at the time, so that was,
Just
I had
a
an insurance lapse.
Just a second. Why didn't you have money for insurance?
I just wasn't making enough.
Don't you think you ought to get rid of this car?
No. I need the car. I really don't have anything. She kicked me out. I'm living basically on the street in my car, and she wants to take my car.
Well, you didn't sleep in your car 2 nights ago. So.
No, I didn't, but there's been times.
Sure, so listen, if you had behaved yourself, she wouldn't have kicked you out?
I'm 20 years old. I still have to live perfectly to her rules. I can't do anything. I can't see anybody.
Joe, listen to me. You do not, sir. You don't have to listen to your mother. You don't have to abide by her rules. Only if you live in her house. If you live in her house, she owns the air you breathe. And she doesn't have to wait until you decide to come home because she's going to be up at night wondering whether you're home safely or not. So you can't meander in at 5 o'clock in the morning. And you can't have friends over that she doesn't like. And you can't, listen to me,
right.
And you don't have a room. You don't have a room. She allows you to live in a room in her
there.
house. Evidently, whatever you were contributing to the household was not sufficient to balance the aggravation that your new lifestyle was posing for your mother. Shh. Step up. Tell me your name.
Richard Collado.
How do you know him?
Basically, I didn't graduate with his brother. I didn't graduate, but I went to school with his brother, and his brother now lives with me.
You, I assume, believe that you have something to contribute to this case.
Yeah. I've seen him pay her twice. Once in
when?
Once in September.
And once when?
And then a little in January.
Tell me about the time that you saw him give his mother money in January 2004.
Basically, she came over, I think, to see his brother, Frank, who was living with me. And I was sleeping on the couch. It was a Saturday or Sunday. I remember being woken up by her complaining that he was about, I think, $50, $60 short. Something that I considered significant to disturb my sleep over, but I remember being woken up because he was short on a car payment. So he didn't have the total payment, but he did pay her something.
You remember that discussion?
Your Honor, I have never seen this kid before in my life. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he is a friend of my other sons. I have never met him.
You may not have been sleeping on the couch. Do you remember going over to your son sometime in January of 2004 and having a discussion about a short car payment?
No. What I have done is I have complained on the phone at his job, and I have pleaded with his brother to try and get him to pay me something. I have been, my stomach has been in a knot. I've been crying, upset. I mean, and I haven't said you're $50 short. He's short the whole entire payment.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
I was going to let him stay, but I just could not deal with that because, you know, the relationship was over. It was very hard to be there.
So you were happy that he left?
Yes, I was, because I could not take it anymore.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paula Sharia says her son, Joe Hapka, needs to get his life together. She is suing for the return of a car and car payments.
Joe, according to you, it is your intention to pay this. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I do not believe that you have made your car payments, and one of the reasons I don't believe that you made your car payments is because you didn't even make your insurance payments on the car. So your mother made $1,200 worth of car payments for you over the last 8 months, and that you owe her. Now, I'm giving you back this book. This book is now your responsibility. I am telling you that it is now on the record that it is your intention to assume full responsibility for making those car payments this day forward. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
But since you have now stated to me that your intention is to make these payments yourself, if your mother has to make these payments for you, she has the right to pursue you civilly, garnish your wages, to recoup whatever money you don't pay on the car. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Good. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,200, which represents the amount of payments that she's made on the car. You no longer have any responsibility between the two of you. He's taking over his own car payments. Unfortunately, I cannot direct that he return the car to you, nor can I give you all the money that you owe on the car, because before you co-sign for somebody, you have to think twice about doing that. He has now assumed full responsibility for the car. It's all yours, babe. Take care of it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's driving without a license right now. I'm very concerned for his future. I wanted him to go to school. I wanted him to have a business.
She didn't want me to go anywhere. If I left the house late at night, where are you going? I mean, I'm 20 years old.
Maybe he looks at it as though I was controlling him, but when he gave me the payments I made for his car, at least I knew they were paid because that was our agreement when I co-signed.
I have my own car, I have my own life, my own job. You can't be telling me what to do this late. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I just hope that he wakes up and goes back to the way he used to be. He was very self-controlled. He had a goal, a mindset. He was a good kid.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Armendariz versus Barrett. Step forward, please.
26-year-old retail clerk Lena Armendariz is suing her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old waiter Ryan Barrett, for an unpaid loan for rent. Ryan is countersuing for his waterbed, rollerblades, and computer.
Miss Armandati, Mr. Barrett and you lived together for a period of time. He was your boyfriend, and according to your complaint, he ran into some tough financial times, couldn't pay his rent for a few months, and you loaned him the money to pay his share of the rent.
That's right.
He moved out, and you want that money back. Mr. Barrett says this was not a loan. You were living together. You were a couple living together. You went into some hard times, and you just covered the rent until he moved out and found his own place. He is counterclaiming because he said at some point he decided he wanted to come back and get his property that he had left behind, and you told him that he couldn't until he paid the rent that he owed you. So he is counterclaiming for his waterbed, rollerblades, and a computer.
That's correct.
When did you move in?
We moved in together in March of 2003.
Did you have a lease?
We did have a lease, yes.
How long was the lease?
It wasn't a specific length of time.
Actually, there was, Your Honor, I have this right here, the lease copy. It's for, it has the date right over there, right there on there.
Could you show this to the defendant, please? Ask him if that's his signature.
Yes, it's my signature.
That's a lease.
Yes.
So you had a lease?
We had a lease.
The lease was for 1 year. When did you move out?
I moved out in September. Actually, October, rather.
She's not suing you for the rent during that time. When did you stop paying rent?
I stopped paying in the end of September. I didn't pay for October because I was not living there in October.
He was actually, Your Honor.
Just a second. When did you go back to get your property?
I tried to go back and get my property several times, and every time...
According to your answer, you say you went back in December.
The first time was not in December. The first time was in October, and then again in November.
Okay, in October, did you take any property with you?
I took some property, the stuff that I could fit inside of a small car.
Then you went back again in November.
Right.
What happened in November when you went back?
There was nobody there.
And then, according to you, you went back in December.
Right.
Did you tell her why you were coming back?
Yes.
And what did she say to you?
She said that she would agree to talk to me, and we went to talk. And then she started insulting me. So I left, and when I came back again, I called her again on the way back to the house, and I said, I'm coming for my stuff right now. She said no, I could not have my stuff.
You want to tell me why you moved out?
I moved out because we broke up, and she told me to get out.
Is that right?
That is right, but the thing what happened is I was going to let him stay there, you know, until he got himself together and got, you know, money and everything. But I just could not deal with that because, you know, I know it's not very relevant to it, but, you know, the relationship was over. It was very hard to be there.
So you were happy that he left?
Well, yes, I was, because I could not take it anymore. And he wanted to try to work it out, to try to, you know, make payments to me and everything.
I wanted my property back, honestly.
Just a minute. So
he did not say he wanted
Just a second. So when you discussed it, you discussed making payments. Is that right, sir?
I told her that I would...
Just answer my question. Stop tap dancing. I said, did you in fact tell her that you would make payments?
Yes.
Great. And what happened?
What happened? I tried to contact her to set up a time to make payments.
To make payments? To make payments. Had you come to an agreement on the amount?
I went ahead and I said yes to her amount.
Which was what amount, sir?
It was $900 at the time.
Why didn't that come to fruition?
That did not come to fruition because she wanted to go to a notary and have it done there. So I said, okay, fine. We'll go to a notary. And when I tried contacting her in order to set up a time and date to go, she said, no, I'm busy. I'm busy. I don't have time for this. And I waited for a response. Never got anything.
Okay. So you did agree to pay $900 in payments. Oh, that was a long time getting there. Now, you have his waterbed?
I have...
Just answer my question. You have his waterbed?
Yes, I still have the waterbed and the computer.
Good. And what about the rollerblades?
I never saw any rollerblades. He never told me he wanted the rollerblades. He just said the waterbed and the computer.
Now, when do you want to go and pick them up?
I'd be willing to go pick them up at any time.
Fine. 5 days from today, you can go in the company of a peace officer. I will prepare an order that you may pick up your waterbed and your computer. That takes care of your counterclaim.
That wasn't the only stuff on his counterclaim.
I didn't ask you a thing. It's the only thing that I see on his counterclaim. His waterbed and his computer. She does not have his rollerblades. And as far as the plaintiff's claim is concerned, the defendant finally acknowledges that he owed the plaintiff $900. He was in agreement to make payments on that amount to her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. Thank you very much.
Now, this is case number 22 on the calendar in the matter of Gatto versus Guillet. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Not you. Ms. Gatto, this is your son?
This is my nephew. I'm legal guardian to him. I'm raising him, Your Honor.
And according to your complaint, this young man broke his tooth, and you want his family to pay for the dental work that's going to take to fix that tooth.
That's correct,
right?
Your Honor.
All right, so I want all the parents and guardians to have a seat, because you weren't there when it happened, right?
Right.
You don't know what happened. Only these two guys know what happened. So you're going to tell me all about it, right?
Right.
Tell me your name.
Anthony DiGirolamo.
And yours?
Pierre.
How old are you, Anthony?
12.
Pierre?
12.
How long have you known each other?
Since 4th grade.
Do you like each other?
Yes. Yes.
Did you ever have any problems with each other?
No.
Yes.
What kind of problems did you have with Anthony?
He's calling me very rude names.
When did he start calling you names?
In the 4th grade when he came to the school.
But I thought you just told me you liked each other.
Well, yeah, I've been inviting him to stuff like birthday parties, movies, stuff like that.
Does he come?
Yeah.
Does he invite you?
No. He only invites...
Yeah.
Shh.
Yes, I do invite him to stuff. Like, I invited him to my birthday party in the 4th grade, and I invited him to another party, too.
When?
I think it was in the 4th grade, too.
So you're talking about 4 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about 4 years ago. I'm talking about yesterday.
Okay.
So, since the 4th grade, you haven't invited him to anything?
Not really.
Has he invited you?
I think only once in 5th grade.
What about in 6th grade?
No.
Last year, he came to my birthday party in July.
Is that right?
I believe, yes.
Okay. So even though he called you names you didn't like, you still invited him to your party?
Right.
Now, why don't you tell me, Anthony, what happened on March the 2nd?
Okay. I was inside of a pizza shop, and Pierre and Christopher followed me inside. And when I ordered my food, I sat down, and Pierre poured cheese all over my head.
Where did you get the cheese from, Pierre?
It was in the pizzeria. It was Parmesan cheese.
You mean from one of those little glass containers? Yeah. And you shook the cheese out on his head?
No, I just put it on his ear.
Put it on his ear. Why did you do that?
Because right before outside the pizzeria, he was calling me a lot of names.
Were you doing that, Anthony?
I called him one time, and the reason why I called him the names was a few days before that. When I went inside the pizzeria, he would always, when I got up, he would always sit next to my book bag and not let me sit down. And sometimes him and Chris would take my book bag and run around the block with it so I couldn't get it.
So they had teased you a couple of days before?
Yes.
Is that right, Pierre?
No, he teases me.
Okay. So you put a little cheese on his ear. And then what did you do, Anthony?
Then I ran out after him and I kicked him.
Where were you both when you kicked him? Inside the pizza store or outside?
Outside.
And where did you kick him? On his leg?
On his butt.
You can't do that to somebody. That's an assault. You could have hurt him, right?
Right.
And then what did you do after you kicked him?
Then I went back into the pizzeria to get my food, right? And then I told him to go back to the sewer.
Well, just a second. You mean he followed you back into the pizzeria?
Right.
And what happened next?
And then I was standing at the counter, and he came up to me, and then he slammed my head onto the counter.
And that's when your tooth broke?
Right.
Now I'm going to hear your side of the story.
He didn't kick me in the behind, Your Honor. He kicked me in the leg, not just once, but like 5 to 6 times in the leg.
What did you say to him when he kicked you?
I didn't say anything. I didn't run out anyway.
You just walked out?
Right, and then...
So you didn't get any food?
Right.
So you went in there, and your purpose for going in there was to put cheese on his head. You know that was the wrong thing to do.
Yes.
Okay. Now, tell me about when you hit his head into the counter.
Before that, When he said go back to the sewer, he gave me the finger, then said go back to the sewer. Then I walked up to him and I pushed him like that.
And that's when he hurt his mouth?
Right, and then I ran out.
Why did you run out?
Because I didn't want him to attack me again.
Go ahead.
Okay. He didn't just go like that to me. He actually went like that, not like soft. He hit my head onto the...
How hard did you kick him in the butt?
Not really hard, because I was running and trying to do it.
You think that was the right thing to do?
No.
Your guardian think that was the right thing to do?
No, Your Honor, I didn't. But he was bothering him days before that, Your Honor.
I'm not saying that Pierre did the right thing. Pierre did the wrong thing. So did Anthony.
Absolutely.
Now, Anthony, had you ever broken this tooth before?
Yes, it was chipped.
And when this incident happened with Pierre, it was chipped again.
It was broken this time, and it hurts now, like my tooth is sensitive to hot and cold.
But you still have the tooth?
I have part of it. This is like a temporary thing.
Temporary cap?
Yes.
Now, do you think, Anthony, that you are partially responsible for what happened that day?
Partially, a little bit.
Do you think he's partially responsible for what happened that day?
Well, Your Honor, in a way I do, but in a way I don't, because he's been bullied. I mean, he's been bullied by the kid.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
Mr. Hoyt can taxi out of his driveway and taxi directly onto the runway.
Why do you think he would choose not to do that?
Because he likes to show off.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 12-year-old Anthony DiGirolamo says his classmate, 12-year-old Pierre Guillet, poured cheese on his head and pushed his face onto a counter, knocking out his tooth. Pierre says Anthony kicked him first.
Now, the objective data is that Pierre has invited your nephew to his home, to parties, as recently as... Listen to me. No. According to your nephew, it's been 4 years since he invited him to a party. That's according to your nephew.
Okay, that was
It's been 4 years. But last summer, he was invited to his birthday party. And there's no question that between the two of them, each one of them believes that the other one isn't behaving right. So all I'm saying to you is, both of these young men behaved badly.
You're right.
He had no right to go in there and put Parmesan cheese on his head or ear. Right? He had no right to kick him in the butt. So, how much did it cost you at the dentist to fix your tooth?
It's not totally fixed yet, Your Honor. They have to wait for the nerve to come down and get a little longer.
Okay. It's probably going to cost you at least the $1,500 that you're suing for to have a permanent cap put on his tooth, and I think that he's partially responsible.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, your actions that day are going to cost your guardian, your aunt, $750. That's all you're getting from them, $750. You got to learn to keep your hands to yourself. We understand each other?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
When I looked at Anthony, his mouth without the hair, and he was covered with blood, and he had no tooth there.
He makes fun of everyone in the school.
He started to bully me around, and I got mad at him.
I couldn't take it anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hoyt versus Champ. Step forward, please.
Lumber salesman Robert Hoyt is suing his neighbor, Juanita Champ, for damage to his airplane. Robert says Juanita left a trash can in the taxiway.
Mr. Hoyt, I am so pleased that you brought that diagram. You don't happen to have a picture, do you?
I do.
I'd really like to take a look at the picture while I'm sort of recapping what I think happened in this case, or at least what you allege. You and the defendants live in a community where a whole bunch of people have airplanes. And instead of garages, there are hangars.
In addition to garages, there are hangars.
I wasn't looking to shortchange you, Miss Champ. I said there were big hangars for planes, but I'm sure you also have a car.
We do.
And it is your claim that you were taxiing your plane in an area where you are allowed to taxi your plane. It also serves as a street. And that the defendant placed her garbage can outside on your street/runway. As a result of that, you clipped the wing of your plane, causing damage. Right?
Correct.
And Miss Champ's defense is you weren't looking where you were going.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, show me what happened.
On May 21st, while
Taxiing out of my driveway to the neighborhood road, which acts as the taxiway, I S-turned all the way down.
S-turn. What's an S-turn?
It's going back in the shape of an S, back and forth. I have a tail dragger.
Why do you do that?
I have a tail dragger biplane where you cannot see over the nose of the biplane. So in order to taxi correctly, you have to do S-turns on the taxiway. And as you turn to your left, you look right. As you turn to your right, you look left.
Why did you get it plane where you can't see over the nose?
It's an aerobatic biplanes. To reduce drag, you don't have a nose wheel, so they give you a tail wheel. And also, if you're taking off, grass runways, it gives you more prop clearance. So this is.
Sorry, I asked you. Okay, so you're zigging and zagging in order to get to the runway.
Correct.
Go.
And 3/4 of the way down, Miss Champ lives, and upon taxiing, and hit her garbage can.
She's not allowed to have a garbage can on her property?
She is allowed to have a garbage can on her property, but the easement for the safe passage on the taxiway, 25 feet off center, is to have no obstructions. And an additional 10 feet beyond, there's to be nothing exceeding 2 feet in height. This garbage can is 3 feet and 2 inches, and she chose to put it alongside the taxiway. I have a videotape that also will show this, and I have the CC&Rs, which will state this.
Take the videotape, Bert, for me.
Sure.
Put it in. And let me take a look at that
And there's the
regulation.
And also, Your Honor, from our Neighborhood Safety Committee, which will show that CC&R. You can see the can, which is circled with the red dot.
That looks like the can's out in the middle of the street.
Yeah, I don't. That's
Can
not on the
is
grass, sir.
never in the middle of the street.
Shh.
Oh, sorry.
Was your garbage can outside?
Yes, it was.
Was your garbage can 10 feet in from your property line?
Probably not.
Why?
Well, every Wednesday the garbage cans are out there. Mr. Hoyt's also has been out there all that same time.
Mr. Hoyt, do you place your garbage cans out for collection every Wednesday?
Nope. Garbage is on Thursday, and mine go out Thursday morning.
You have different people picking up garbage in your area?
We place ours out in the evening because we don't want to get up before 7 a.m. But ours was out early that day.
Was this a Wednesday or a Thursday?
This was a Wednesday morning.
It was Wednesday because we were going on vacation and we put our garbage can out a few hours before we would normally put them out.
Okay. Now, when you put your trash cans out on Thursday morning, sir, I would assume that you put them out closer than 10 feet just that one day, and everybody is aware of that. Is that right?
That one day, sure.
Yes. Okay, I knew I was going to get there. So on Thursday, everybody is aware. Watch out on Thursday morning because the garbage cans are out there. Is that right, Mr. Hoyt?
That's correct.
But this was out Wednesday morning, so you weren't expecting garbage cans to be out Wednesday morning.
No.
I got it. I'll go and get to you in a minute.
Okay.
Okay?
I got a lot to say.
Well, I'm going to get there.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robert Hoyt says neighbor Juanita Champ owes for damage to his airplane. Robert claims she left a trash can in the taxiway.
Okay. Mr. Hoyt, would anything prevent you, if you wanted to take your plane out for a spin, to get into your car, take a ride down the 1/4 mile and see whether there are any obstructions in the road? Would anything prevent you from doing that?
Nothing would prevent me from
Don't
doing
you think that that's a good idea, sir?
In light of what happened, that's a prudent thing to do.
Absolutely, because it could have just as easily been a bunch of kids there as a garbage can.
I agree.
And if you can't see, then it's up to you to be particularly careful, right?
Correct.
Now we're going to get to Miss Champ, who told me she has a whole bunch to say. Go!
Okay, thank you, Judge Judy. One of my premises is that Mr. Hoyt can taxi out of his driveway, go directly across our road, and taxi directly onto the runway.
Why do you think he would choose not to do that?
Because he likes to show off.
Well, explain that to me.
He had a passenger on board his airplane. He was trying to show off the neighborhood.
Is there a passenger on board your plane?
Doyce Bishop was my passenger at the time.
Okay. So Mr. Hoyt knows that you can't see over the front of his plane. It would seem to me that if you don't have at all times a clear view of what's in front of you, then you have to make darn sure that the area is clear. So you have partial responsibility and at least are contributorily negligent yourself in maneuvering your plane in such a way that you cause damage to it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's all your fault, but I'm saying it's at least half your fault, and I haven't let Miss Champ finish, because she's got a lot more to tell me. Okay, so you think he was showing off, but you weren't there?
I was not there, but I have witnesses who were there.
Okay, I'll hear the witnesses. Tell me your name.
William Peterson.
Mr. Peterson, were you present on May 21st, 2003?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
My wife and I were out in the yard. Bob come taxiing by, and he was doing his weaving. And he looked over at us and waved. And I'm sure that distracted his attention.
You remember that, sir?
Waved to not go move his truck. That's what he was signaling. He goes to get in his truck, and I'm like, no. And you can see his truck parked there. I diligently avoided his truck. Her garbage can, from visibility of the cockpit, was sitting behind the truck. And as I did my S-turn, so my wing avoided his truck, I did not leave the taxiway. I taxied to the right. When I did my next S-turn, I'm now pointed directly at a garbage can that should not be there. As you can see, nobody else's is.
So what you were trying to do, sir, is to avoid his truck.
Absolutely.
Now, if his truck had not been there,
I would have seen the can.
could you have seen it if you got in your car before you got in your plane and drove that quarter-mile up the road to see if there were any obstructions?
I had picked up Doyce and his son and another friend at the airport. When we came back that morning, we probably came back before Juanita put it out.
Well, what time was that?
I don't remember the exact time when you came in the morning, but...
10 o'clock.
How long did it take you to get back to Mr. Hoyt's house?
It was probably about 11 o'clock when we were taxiing, so...
Okay, who put your garbage cans out?
Actually, my husband did.
What time?
Boy, that's been a year ago. My guess would be 10:30 maybe.
How long of a drive is it from where he picked you up to where he brought you back to his house?
It must have been 45 minutes, I'm guessing.
So it was a pretty close thing as to whether the garbage can got out there before or after you got into your car. I don't know. Now, after he hit the garbage can, did he stop his plane?
Yes.
Got out and looked at it?
No, he did not. I come running over there, and all the garbage is blowing all over the place. And he says, would you look under my wing and see if you see any damage? Well, it's a fabric airplane with ribs, so it, you got the dips.
Mm-hmm.
I looked under it, and I could not see any damage. And so I says, I do not see any.
Uh-huh.
And so then he...
Took off.
Took
Did you
off.
go flying that day?
Yep.
Yes, I did.
How long did you fly that day?
Probably about 35 minutes, 40 minutes total.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. Hoyt. Because you flew that day, did it exacerbate any damage that was done by the garbage can?
No.
Well, if your wing was so damaged and your plane is fabric plane, right?
Correct.
And you're telling me that you don't think that a fabric plane's wing could be further damaged by flying it for an additional 35 minutes after an injury?
No, they could.
Well, Ms. Champ, I think you're absolutely adorable, but I think that you have some responsibility with regard to this accident because you did put your trash can out on a day when he was not anticipating that it was going to be out there. You acknowledge yourself that it wasn't beyond 10 feet of the property line, which was the agreement of all residents. That doesn't excuse Mr. Hoyt from doing everything that he should have done. He should have inspected that area, and in addition to that, he drove the plane after this incident, which could have further exacerbated whatever injury was done to the plane's wing on the 21st of May. So I think that you bear the greatest responsibility, Mr. Hoyt. I'm giving you $1,000 towards your bill, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is case number 25 on the calendar in the matter of
Quine.
Quine versus Pupo. Has been sworn in.
Mr. Quine, according to your complaint, you knew the defendant, and at some point you hired her to do some lawn work for your business.
Yes, I did.
And then a dispute arose with regard to her compensation.
Yes.
So there was some bad blood. Subsequently, your home was burglarized.
Yes, it was.
When was your home burglarized?
That was August 9th.
And it is your belief that Miss Pupo was responsible for the burglary, either herself or herself in conjunction with others. And you want her to reimburse you in the amount of $4,000. The stuff that was taken from your home was in excess of that. but you want $4,000 for the value of the property that was taken and not recovered. Now, Ms. Pupo says that you still owe her some money from this weeding job that she did a while back, but she is really suing you for defamation because she says that you went around town telling people that she was a thief. That's your counterclaim.
Yes.
Let's not get into, please, the wages, because I'm really not interested in the wages from a year ago, whether it's $70 or $100 for weeding the property. I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is the dispute over the wages. Now, when did that take place, Mr. Quine?
The dispute happened, I hired her to do the weeding on one house, okay? That job paid 6 hours to do the weeding and the shrub trimming.
Okay.
Okay.
So whatever she did work, and you gave her money. How much did you give her?
I gave her $70 after she worked 6 hours.
Just a minute. You gave her $70, and
Yes.
she said she wanted how much?
She wanted $210.
And that was somewhere around the end of July.
Yes.
Is that the last you heard from her?
Absolutely not. She called me 6 to 10 times a day, every single day.
Between the time the job was completed and...
Until the robbery in my house.
And what were these conversations like?
I want money. I want money. You promised me you'd pay me money. And I told her I paid you over and above what I owed you.
Tell me about the break-in to your home.
I was working late, and she had called so many times. All of a sudden, Saturday, the phone calls stopped. I get home, my house is robbed.
What do you find in the house?
Destroyed. All my electronics were gone.
Do you have a police report?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please? Is this the detective that responded to the scene?
This is Detective Gunderson, who is with the postal...
You didn't listen to my question. I said, is this the detective who responded to the scene on the 9th of August?
Yes.
Okay, you can step up, sir. Detective, with what law enforcement authority are you affiliated, sir?
The Post Falls Police Department.
And how long have you been employed by them?
Approximately 17 years.
Were you assigned this case?
I was. It was a subsequent investigation. Actually, an officer did respond.
But not you?
But not me, no. I handled the follow-up of the case after the fact. I didn't actually respond to the home.
Okay. Did anything in that subsequent investigation lead you to believe that the defendant was somehow involved in this burglary?
Yes, it did. I served a search warrant on the house where she was residing.
And what prompted you to serve a search warrant at that location?
It was another investigation, not this one. And once I got into the house...
It was another investigation for what?
It was involving fraud and drugs.
Now, do you remember on what date you executed this search warrant?
Yes, it was December 22nd.
And who was at that location?
Penny was there.
Penny, the defendant, Ms. Pupo.
Yes, Penny, the defendant.
Did you
was
know
there.
her before?
I had spoke to her before, yes.
In what context?
I had questioned her about Mr. Quine's property previous to that, asked her if she would talk to us about the burglary of his property.
Okay.
Things like that.
And when you got to the house and she was there,
yes,
had you given her any notice that you were coming?
No.
And you found what?
A DeWalt drill, a Panasonic telephone, Pioneer faceplate to a stereo that were all items that I recalled were reported stolen by Mr. Quine.
And did it subsequently turn out that those items did in fact belong to him?
Yes, he identified them.
Did Ms. Pupo offer any explanation of how those items serendipitously appeared in a home where she was living?
No, she wouldn't talk about it.
Was she arrested?
Yes.
And what happened to that arrest?
She was charged with possessing the stolen property.
Right.
That's still a pending case.
It is?
Yes.
Is that case still pending?
No, they've dropped those charges, Your Honor.
Let me see.
This is all I'm being charged with now.
Well, I am not certain, madam, that the question of possession of stolen property has been resolved. So I am not going to ask you whether or not you stole his property. I have your answer, which is sworn to. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And your answer states, I was living with my parents and ran into an old, friend who asked me to watch his home while he went into prison. December 22nd, this home was raided by a task force and a few of Dan's belongings were recovered. That's what you say. I'm not asking you any questions, Ms. Pupo, because I don't necessarily believe that those issues will or will not be raised in your current indictment of possession of methamphetamines, which, according to this, you are still being charged with as a result of the raid of December 22nd.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The statistical probability of his stolen property ending up in a house where she was acting as a house sitter is really, really big.
And later today,
I borrowed the sewing machine because we had made a quilt at church, and I called over and I asked Fallon, hey Fallon, how you doing? Is Cheryl there? And then
listen to me. Don't shake your head because you know nothing about what happened.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dan Quine says former employee Penny Pupo burglarized his home. Penny is denying the charge.
How many people reside in your town, sir?
Approximately 20,000.
So the statistical probability of the stolen items, considering the nexus between these two people, the relationship between these two people, the statistical probability of his stolen property ending up in a house where she was acting as a house sitter is really, really big.
Yes.
Right? That's your case.
Yep.
He doesn't have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you stole this property. I find that by the required quantum of proof in a civil proceeding, which is proof by a preponderance of the evidence that either you or your friend who's in jail or somebody else who you importuned stole the property, and I'm awarding him $4,000 on his claim. Now let's get to your counterclaim. Sir, stand up. Tell me your name.
Mike Ollinger.
Take your hands out of your pockets, Mr. Ollinger. Are you prepared to testify that at some time subsequent to December 22nd or sometime after August 9th,
Yeah, it was in the fall.
you heard this gentleman,
Yep.
Mr. Quine, tell people that Miss Pupo was a thief?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
She is a thief.
Okay.
She is a thief. And
Okay.
the truth is an absolute defense to a charge of defamation. She or others acting on her behalf stole his property. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
Good. Case counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,000. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I stole everything out of my house, every electronic I had.
Wouldn't sleep with him. That's what the bottom line is.
There was no sexual nothing with that girl. All right? There was never has been, and she knows it.
Maybe you should come to work with a thong on. I'll pay your wages if you if you put out.
Her lies are just carrying on and on and on.
How many people do you have in your city? If someone was talking about you, I'm sure it would bother you too.
She's a drug addict, and she got caught.
Anybody that knows her knows that that isn't the case. So
I'll tell you what, Post Falls and Coeur d'Alene area is going to know all about her.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Frazier versus Lovelace. Step forward, please.
Computer operator Cheryl Frazier is suing her former friend, daycare owner Felicia Lovelace, for stealing her sewing machine. Felicia says she bought the machine from Cheryl's daughter.
Miss Frazier, it is your claim that 3.5 years ago, the defendant borrowed a sewing machine of yours, an old sewing machine.
Yes, ma'am.
She didn't borrow it from you directly.
No, ma'am, she didn't.
She borrowed it, according to you, from your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And she didn't return it.
No, ma'am.
So you just woke up and found out that the sewing machine wasn't there. You want from her $3,000.
Yes, ma'am.
$3,000. The sewing machine was worth a couple of $100 maybe, but you want the rest of the money because you say that because you didn't have the sewing machine, you weren't able to make money. And the other $2,800. What kind of work do you do?
Well, I have a job as a computer operator, but I have a business where I sew lingerie.
Weren't you missing this sewing machine? If that's your business?
Well, I have quite a few, Your Honor. You
have quite a few what?
Sewing machines.
How many do you have?
I have 4 antiques. I have a $4,000 embroidery machine, and then I have some ones that I bought used.
When did you realize that this sewing machine was missing?
It was the latter part of November 2003.
So what did you do?
Well, I looked around the house for it.
Oh, you didn't find it. So
no, I didn't.
Go ahead. Keep going.
And
I'm very unsympathetic with this.
Okay, I understand.
This is a little nonsense as far as I'm concerned.
I understand. I called my daughter up and I asked her about it.
Step up. Name?
Fallon Frazier.
Ms. Frazier, tell me how the defendant got possession of the sewing machine.
I think I was like a junior in I was a junior in high school, and she called one day and she asked for my mother at home, and I told her no. And then she asked me if I had a sewing machine, and I said yes, and she asked if she could borrow, and I told her yes. She said she was going to return it the next day.
You gave her your sewing machine. It wasn't your mother's sewing machine, it was yours.
Yes.
Okay, good. And what happened the next day?
The next day I called her and she said she would bring it by, and she never came by.
And what happened the day after that?
The day after that I didn't call her.
And the day after that?
I didn't call her until about like some months later.
And when you called her some months later, what did she say to you?
She said she was going to bring it by.
And she didn't bring it back?
No, she didn't.
Yeah. And if you were missing it and she borrowed it and put your hand down. Okay. If you were missing it and she had borrowed it, you would have told your mother, Felicia borrowed my sewing machine, Mom. She hasn't returned it and I need it. But you never told your mother.
No, ma'am.
Not until just listen to me, not until 3 years later. Right?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Good. Now you want to tell me about the sewing machine?
It wasn't 3 years. It was like 5 years. It was in 1999. I was expecting a child, and I borrowed the sewing machine because we had made a quilt at church. And I called over and I asked Fallon, hey, Fallon, how you doing? Is Cheryl there? And she said no. And I said, well, I was trying to borrow a sewing machine. I was going to see if she'll let me use her sewing machine to sew around the quilt. And she said, well, I got one. And she said, well, you can use that one. And I said, well, okay. And then she said, well, it's pretty old. I don't even know if it works anymore. And then I said, well, can I get it and see if it works? And then
listen to me. Don't shake your head because you know nothing about what happened.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Fallon never called me back for that sewing machine. She said she didn't even want it because it wasn't no good.
Listen to me. Your story changed a little bit from the answer that you wrote.
She never offered me money.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cheryl Frazier says former friend Felicia Lovelace owes for the return of an expensive sewing machine. Felicia claims Cheryl's daughter sold her the machine.
Listen to me. You know nothing about what happened between your daughter and this lady, except what your daughter tells you. Okay. Go ahead.
And I said, well, can I get it? And she said, well, yeah, you can get it. And she said, it's in the basement. I don't feel like going down there and get it. I said, well, Fallon, I'll give you $30 if you go down there and get it. And she said, well, okay. I said, well, we're on our way over there to get it. And then she said, okay. So we got over there. Fallon, we blew the horn, and Fallon was at the door. And she brought the sewing. I went up to the porch, and she came out with the sewing machine. I got the sewing machine. Fallon never called me back for that sewing machine because she said she didn't even want it because it wasn't no good.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Miss Lovelace, your story changed a little bit from the answer that you wrote. What you just told me was, if you go downstairs to the basement, I'll give you $30. That's what you told me.
Okay.
She never offered me money.
Which means, for her trouble of going downstairs, and you called and asked if you could borrow a sewing machine.
Right.
So you borrowed this sewing machine, and you gave her $30 for the trouble of going down, according to you, of getting the sewing machine. Stop shaking your head.
$30.
Of going down and